strange, new
worlds.
You asked. We listened. It's happening.
Wow, I'm so glad I finally get to share this news with you guys.
Speaking just for myself, I have never received more love from a fan base than I have from the Star Trek family. Without you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you so much.
I can't wait to put on that gold Starfleet uniform and deliver #1 right along Captain Pike and Spock.
It is a huge honor. And it means even more for us to be able to announce this right now at a time when so much of the planet is hurting. The ethos of Star Trek is so curious and welcoming and unifying. And we're going to get to work on a classic Star Trek show that deals with optimism and the future.
Here we go. I can't wait.
And I guess there's only one more thing to say. Hit it.
I love that trailer.
I love it so much. It's wonderful.
That looks like we already have our first comment. Steve's laughing.
Of course he does. He always laughs at us.
That's all right, Steve. We're here week after week. Anyways. So,
We're used to getting laughed at.
I tried to finish my dinner before. Oops. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our first topic of the night with the Strange New Worlds trailer. I do want to say, guys, that we are going to get into our conversation to follow up for the uniform which is our sequel to For the Cause was the first episode of Deep Space Nine we watched.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I want to point out to people, like I said, we'll get into that a little bit, is even though we're showing it back to back, there was about a year's part transition to. It wasn't like one day we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And be prepared to defend why it's not one of your favorite episodes in a little bit.
Okay.
But let's talk about something new and exciting. Something
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, something we haven't seen. We kind of got teasers. I was really hopeful when Short Treks came out this year, and I was, jokefully calling it the lost episodes of Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Where you had Pike. I don't know how Steve could say hello and good night in the same minute, but hello, Steve.
He apparently works really early mornings.
Except for he can stay up late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm just saying.
Some Sundays, but yeah.
All right. So anyway, the new trailer just came out. Were you surprised?
I was not expecting. Like, I heard rumors, but we heard this rumor about a new Pike series for years. I don't want to say years, but for a long time. So when I woke up and saw the news, I freaked out. I went and shared everybody who I haven't seen it shared. I went onto Discord and shared it, and I was just shocked, I guess, because I was not expecting it.
Well, see, I was expecting it because, why else would they build the bridge? And I mentioned this before this trailer came out. Why else would they build the bridge? Why else would they dedicate an entire Short Treks? Well, all except for the last Short Treks to Enterprise. And then of course the fans really loved Anson Mount's portrayal of Captain Pike, Ethan Peck's portrayal of Spock, and of course I can't pronounce her name. Rebecca Ramon, or
I think it's Marone. Yeah. Okay. I think.
Yeah, and her portrayal of #1. Did you actually watch the Short Treks?
Yes.
You watched them, right? So the thing I like about her character is we didn't get to see much of her in season 2 of Discovery. So, light spoiler alert here, people. I'm just going to point that out there. It's almost out on DVD, so I think we can lightly talk about it. But as far as Rebecca's character, #1, I love the fact that we actually got a glimpse of seeing who she really is.
Mm-hmm.
In a fun, you don't have to take it very seriously. You don't, it's just a nice little story that wouldn't really fit in an episode, but it fit perfectly for that. And it gave a great opportunity to see why Spock, all of a sudden, he goes from smiling to not smiling, and it was something that she told him early on. And the other thing I like about that episode, too, is the fact that the events of the cage are a precursor to Discovery.
Yeah, okay.
Because they said that. So
Yeah.
sorry again if you guys haven't seen it, but the events of the Cage come first, then Discovery's Enterprise under Pike. It comes next. And without going into too many spoilers, yeah. Once it's out on DVD and people had a chance to watch it, then we can fully digest season 2. But until then, we're just gonna keep it light. But well, like I was saying earlier, though, I mean, not in this particular episode, but earlier in our series, that they built the Enterprise model. I mean, they built the interiors, they built the bridge.
Well, maybe because they did.
Mm-hmm.
But they can build sets all the time and reuse them for other things.
But Enterprise has a
tear 'em
completely
down.
different look than Discovery. It's like, why would
True.
you spend all that money to build a beautiful set just to turn around and knock it down? I wasn't buying that.
I didn't think about that when that happened.
Yeah.
But it's show business and it depends, they do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm just getting ready to queue up our next thing here. But as far as the trailer, do you have any idea maybe when this is going to possibly come out?
I think I read something about 2021. Sometime in 21.
Is that when they're going to start filming, or is that when they're going to be done with production, you think?
I don't know. I read an article, and I can't remember if it started filming or they're going to. I can't remember. I mean, right now, can't really do anything. So, but I'm curious of when they're going to start recording and when it's going to come out.
Yeah, me too. Because we already know that Discovery was picked up for seasons 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm. And Picard is picked up.
Yeah.
For a second season.
So
okay.
I mean, Scott's saying in the fall of 2021 at the moment.
Okay.
Now,
I remember reading something about it.
Is that going to be the case even with this pandemic? Is that going to be the case even with this pandemic still going on?
I mean, they announced it, so I'm assuming that's what they're hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they already start recording. They have a few episodes already or started.
Well, remember Discovery? They wanted to get it launched right away, and they said it was going to be out in the fall, and then they ended up pushing it back to Christmas or right after Christmas, the winter.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do the same thing. I don't know.
I think a lot of things are up in the air right now because all the shows are ending and no one's recording right now.
Well, it's not just that. It's just you're coming off this hype of a great season 2, especially for Anson Mount. And if they wait too long, they might miss that window.
Yeah.
And we really don't know what season 3 is going to hold for Discovery, even though the trailer looks pretty cool. And we really don't know what season 2 of Picard's going to do.
Yeah, I'm really curious about Picard because, I don't want to. The way they did Picard, they could have done it where they just end it right there.
Yeah.
How they did, they could have just one season done. So I'm curious what they're going to do for Picard and how they're going to continue that storyline or continue.
Well, they got the idea from Discovery.
Yeah.
Every season of Discovery is a complete story arc from the start to the finish. And then they splash something that not necessarily you need to have another season of it, but you're kind of curious, but it's not like a cliffhanger. It's not like the old days where they give you this nasty cliffhanger and you just can't figure it out.
I kind of wish I had cliffhangers, but because I'm also a person who hates long story arcs. I've never been a big fan of long story arcs.
Even these 10 episodes, did you feel that was too long?
That's just about right, but I wish for Discovery, they had a long story arc, but they did have like little bits of random episodes in there, like just a random fun little episode, and that kind of helps break it up. Like Picard, that was almost to the borderline of okay, come on, we have something a little fun and not so serious. But yeah, it's just me because I don't like long story arcs. I don't mind them as long as you have an episode occasionally that does not include the story arc in any way, just to kind of break up.
Well, CBS now has an opportunity. Because the thing you were talking about, those little one-off stories that made the other shows popular, they could definitely do that there. And now that the merger has gone through, they could possibly look at making CBS made-for-TV movies. Because let's face reality, Star Trek is always better on the screen.
Yep.
The small screen, as they like to call it, not the big screen. Very few Star Trek movies have actually done really well at the big screen.
On the screens. Yeah.
Yeah. First Contact, Wrath of Khan did really well. But most of the other ones I can't really think of that actually did pretty well in the box office. The 2009 Star Trek.
2009 did pretty well, decently.
Yeah, but that's
because it was new Star Trek, and they were trying to get new people into it. And
yeah,
I like 09 series.
I like
maybe
the 2009 movie.
Maybe because Kurt Urban is, he's good looking. That's not the reason, but I enjoyed it.
Hi, Brian.
Howdy ho.
All right, so you guys comment in there. But as far as like, I would rather see it on the smaller screen, and I'd like to see more of them, or even independent things. Like maybe they could. It all depends on what Alex Kurtzman and CBS wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But they could give some fan service if they wanted to. I mean, I guess it all depends on how much people want Star Trek and how much they're willing to pay. Are they willing to pay the $10 a month? And that's the whole idea. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to sprinkle Star Trek all year round, so you'll pay for the subscription all year long.
Because right now what people do is they pay for a month or so, binge watch all of Discovery and Picard, and then cancel.
Well, that has been the model for years with streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
You get Netflix has been the only one to constantly update their stuff. But like with Hulu and the other ones, you can easily, this is when my series is on. Okay, I'm paying these couple months, and then it's over.
Now there's a new streaming series coming out. I just learned today about.
So something else besides Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix,
yes,
CBS,
HBO Max.
Max is in Cinemax.
I just recently learned about this because I was frustrated because I want to watch all the Harry Potters. I have the DVDs, but I want digital form, so I don't have to, get the DVD out, put it in my computer, and all that stuff, so I can watch Harry Potter when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And someone goes, "Oh well, you can get HBO Max. It releases on May 27th. It's going to have all the Harry Potters, all the Doctor Who's, all the HBO stuff out there."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." But I was like, do I need another streaming service? I don't know if I need another streaming service. I have enough as it is.
Well, I guess that comes down to, in the past, they used to tell us what we could watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they based it on this horrible system called the Nielsen rating system.
I remember that. I remember doing that in my house when I was younger.
Well, it's still in practice today.
Still thing. Mm-hmm.
And it's stupid because, I know other people will argue, and I think I've justified this on here too before. I'd rather pay for Star Trek I'd rather be the shareholder that has the vested interest versus trusting the Nielsen rating company to have the best interest of Star Trek.
Yep. Because everybody's opinions, they're different. It's different.
Yeah. I'd rather be
the same way.
Responsible. Brian says, Doctor Who is great.
It is. It's amazing. I'm behind this season.
I'll have to take your word for that,
Brian. Watch it. It's really good.
How about you do it maybe after we're done with the Star Trek stuff here? Maybe you can start a Doctor Who one.
Maybe I could. Well, I'm behind because I don't know if y'all know, my dish, cable, or whatever you want to call it, my dish broke my room, so I haven't really watched any live TV.
Oh, wow.
But I don't really watch live TV in general. I watch a lot of streaming services. So I finally broke down and bought a fancy TV. A very fancy TV. A smart, fancy TV.
Nice.
It's a Samsung Series 8.
Okay.
42-inch.
That's not bad.
It's brand new to this year. It's 2020. Brand new. Mm-hmm. It's 4K. It has all the smart things you can do with it. Has a really fast processor. It has Bluetooth, so I can Bluetooth things to it.
Nice.
And I can also mirror my phone onto the TV.
Okay, mine can't do that. I have no idea what Brian's talking about here. Do you know what he's talking about?
Those are doctors. So Baker, Tennant, and Smith are all the doctors. So you know the basic idea of Doctor Who, right?
Nope.
Oh, you hurt my heart. Oh, we can't be friends anymore.
I know they have a telephone booth. I'm assuming they go in there to call somebody who cares. Oh, sorry, I've been waiting all day to say that one.
Oh, that
Tell me the
hurts
premise.
me.
Tell me
Oh,
the
that
premise.
hurts
Tell me. Go
So
ahead.
basically, this doctor, he regenerates, and he's kind of like a Trill in a sense, I would say.
A trill?
Where, yeah, so like my cat's gonna come say hi.
All right. Well, her cat's saying hi. What is a woven card?
What?
A
Oh,
woven card.
Hoovian card.
A Hoovian? What's a Hoovian card?
Hoovian is Star Trek. Doctor Who. Hoovian.
Oh. See, yeah, Scott. If it's not Trek, I probably don't know about it.
Oh, I'm gonna get you into Doctor Who.
I don't know. I'm actually into Supernatural, and then for the longest time, I said I was not going to be into Supernatural, and I told my best friend Mike. You met Mike before.
I think so, probably.
Yeah, big tall guy. I told Mike, he's like, "Oh yeah, Jay, you should watch this show with me." I was like, "No, man, it's already on. It's starting season 7. I'm not going to have time to catch up. They're going to cancel in a year or so." And then it's like, you know what? I was like, if I could find some time to sit down, then maybe like a couple weeks later, I got strep throat.
And then you watched it all.
And I watched. Well, I had nothing else to do. I was like laying, not in this couch, but my old couch. I end up laying down, and the next thing you know, I start watching it, and and it's like about 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, here I'm like sick. But I ended up binging it all the way through and catching up to season 7.
You need to watch Doctor Who. It's good sci-fi.
Off subject, Browncoat.
Oh, Firefly.
Okay, Firefly's cool.
But you're. I need to teach you some of your ways.
What? You talking to me or the cat?
You. My cat's fine. She knows about Star Trek. I mean, her freaking collar's Star Trek.
Browncoat is not Star Trek. It's Firefly.
Sci-fi. You need more sci-fi. Browncoats are awesome. I cosplay as Kaylee.
You cosplay as my daughter? Kaylee's like, really? Where are you, Kaylee?
I mean, maybe.
You're on the computer? You mean it worked? I trapped my daughter?
I cosplay as Kaylee.
I've seen that picture. Yeah. Kaylee is the engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is an old picture. I have the real umbrella now and
okay, thanks.
Stuff like that. But that was at Trek Expo. I missed that convention. That was a really good convention.
I don't think we're going to have any. Speaking of conventions, I don't think we're going to have any this year.
No.
Role-playing as me?
Now my daughter finally caught on. She's role-playing as me? Well, why don't you come over here, Kaylee, and make yourself known?
No!
She thinks that yelling is going to make herself known.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I will. Maybe next year I will cosplay as Kaylee.
Oh, you should totally cosplay as my daughter. That'd be funny.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out.
Kaylee says no.
I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want.
Your daughter.
My straw.
All right, Kaylee, it's enough yelling. We need to get back on topic. Here.
Yes.
Who's role-playing as me?
Show her the picture. She wants to see this.
Who is?
Sorry, folks. We're trying to have a podcast, but we have to stop so my 11-year-old daughter can have her moment.
Wait.
What?
That looks like Japanese.
Not her. That's what she said. It's Kaylee from Firefly, the TV show.
Oh, that's not me.
I know, Kaylee. I was just picking on you.
If you were not live, I would smack you with this drink right now.
What?
If you were not live, I would smack you with this drink.
Oh, if I wasn't live right now, she'd smack me, she said.
this.
Wow. So, anyways, let's get back to topic here.
I think Brian just likes bringing up odd topics that I'm probably not going to get the references to. What do you mean not in Vegas, Brian?
I think you're talking about STLV.
I'm so glad
Remember
Jenny's
the
on the show with me.
And that's why I'm your deputy.
Done. Do you want me to be on the show with you?
If you want to be on the show, Kaylee, you're going to have to get the laptop out.
I know.
It's up to you. But you better be on your best behavior. Okay, very cool. Oh, that's right, delay.
Oh, yeah, I think he's saying about my uniform is delayed. I mean, I think he thinks my cosplay is very cool.
Oh. Well, it is.
Yeah, it is
If we're
very
being
cool.
honest.
I have a really good picture. Yeah, see, we're delayed. We got to remember that we're delayed.
Dr. Pepper.
No, but as far as the Strange New Worlds trailer, I wish it would have showed us a little bit of what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, but they can't really do much right now.
You only got one like, so
But
What, Kaylee?
one like.
That's fine, Kaylee. My daughter's commenting about the likes. My daughter would like you guys to like this video
Here.
today. It's what happens when you're in charge.
I'm disappointed.
Are you saying that because I'm in charge, you tend to forget things?
Now you got two likes.
Well, Brian, here's a little hint. I don't know anything about Doctor Who, man. So it wasn't me forgetting. It's just me never knowing. And Jenny is she's trying so hard to bite her lip.
Mhm. Well, remember that comment I made to you earlier this week? I said, you know what? If we live closer, we could be really good friends.
My hair is a mess.
Yeah, but then
I
you
don't
wouldn't
think
be able
it's
to do
gonna
your.
happen anymore.
But then you wouldn't be able to do your weather joke. Like, Jay, look, it's 70 degrees and sunny.
That's true. It's 72 and cloudy.
It is 50 and windy and rainy.
Gross.
Yeah. Welcome to Oregon.
Ew. I don't want to live. I don't want to go visit Oregon. Scott and I were talking about visiting you.
You should.
A lot like
It's not always
water.
rainy here. I didn't see the trailer for the new Trek. Oh, really?
It is
Oh, really?
I can fix
Where
that.
have you been, Brian?
I can still fix that, though.
Yeah.
While I'm doing that, go ahead and make good radio.
Yeah. So the weather is better in Texas.
No.
Doctor Who's amazing.
Yeah.
Fleet 31's better than SFI.
I would totally agree with that one. And Steve's not on here to defend himself
I
either.
know. He went to bed.
You know, I bet he didn't. All right.
So what else?
All right, let's see here. Okay, I got it queued up. Now I just need to share it.
Yay.
Share screen, share the audio, Chrome.
All right.
Can you see it?
I can see it. Brian, are you watching?
Strange.
Ah! Pause it. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to wait for Brian to say yes.
Yeah.
I went to Phoenix for the few
A
days.
few days.
Brian, are you still with us? Can I get a thumbs up? He's not gonna be able to do a thumbs up in the chat. Actually, he can.
He can. He can like or give a little thumbs up button.
Yeah. All right, Brian, I'm gonna start the trailer now. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Strange.
New worlds.
You asked. We listened. It's happening.
Wow, I'm so glad I finally get to share this news with you guys.
Speaking just for myself, I have never received more love from a fan base than I have from the Star Trek family. Without you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you so much.
I can't wait to put on that gold Starfleet uniform and deliver #1 right along Captain Pike and Spock.
It is a huge honor. And it means even more for us to be able to announce this right now at a time when so much of the planet is hurting. The ethos of Star Trek is so curious and welcoming and unifying. And we're going to get to work on a classic Star Trek show that deals with optimism and the future.
Here we go. I can't wait.
And I guess there's only one more thing to say. Hit it.
You should probably enter in your password.
Nice. I'm sorry, but that classic Star
Trek. Shall I wait to tell you?
This solar wireless battery pack. I'm excited.
All right, commercials.
No commercials.
That's why you have AdBlock Plus.
With the girls who are singing.
Or I just have premium and I'm not logged into that account right now.
Are you logged into my account?
No, Kaylee, I'm logged into your brother's.
Okay, good.
Should
Kaylee's
I
not
tell
over
y'all what?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Tell.
Should I tell y'all what happened the day that was released? It was like what, Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Should I say what happened after that night?
Tell.
So, I am part of this group called Guac and Fries, and it's all the old cruise people. We get on and we kind of have a Zoom call every Friday night. Well, I just got home from work, so this is late. I mean, late night. It was 12 a.m. my time. And he popped on to our Zoom call. Anson Mount joined our Zoom call. I can't hear you.
I know, I had my microphone muted so I could talk to Kaylee. What? Anson Mount.
Anson Mount joined our Zoom call.
Wow.
I just got home from work. I already made soup. I looked at my phone, and one of my friends goes, "Oh my God, Anson Mount joined our Zoom call." Usually by the time this happens, most people will have gone to bed, so I wasn't expecting it. So apparently, I guess back in April, he posted on his Facebook page saying, "Hey, anybody who has anybody who's doing Zoom calls, tell me the time and dates, and I may join one of y'all's." And he did. I have proof. I will get a photo.
Yeah, I believe you.
So I had to hurry, get back in here, and get on my computer to join the Zoom call.
Oh, wow.
Because I was home. I just got home from work.
So what was it like having Anson Mount answer questions and be on the chat?
Yeah, he just answered. He was sitting in his living room with all his dogs. He showed us his dogs. And he was just talking. It was really, apparently, when he first joined, it was all black.
Okay.
And, sorry, I just got distracted by what you just did. On my Facebook, sorry. Because I was looking for that photo.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Kaylee. Yeah, you might need to come out here. Or turn off the air conditioner.
Okay. Be back.
Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted trying to... So yeah, apparently he got on, it was black, and people have been saying that a lot of Zoom calls have been getting hacked. You know, have you heard that? So we thought it was somebody hacking our Zoom call. And all of a sudden you see an arm, and also you see a face.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what?
Arm,
face. Okay, so here, I will...
Hi, Brian. Oh, are you sharing something?
Yeah, I want to share the photo.
Okay. Kayla, are you still there? I'll wait for actually. There we go.
So in this photo, we have two celebrities and one half celebrity.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So this is what I take on my phone.
Well,
so
there's Anson.
There's Anson there.
Yep.
And then this is Garrett Wong. He usually joins us all the time. He's one who kind of his girlfriend. Oops, y'all don't want to see a picture of me. His girlfriend Megan, and so Megan and Aaron. That's Aaron, and Megan is somewhere over here. I can't see her. They're the ones who started this whole group of getting on and just chatting about Trek and just general life.
Okay.
And so the twins Jesse and Morgan, they're the ones who contacted Anson Mount's person to do the hey who can want to join the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
They're the ones who tell them that.
Oh, nice.
And then this is Aaron. Is it? I keep my touch screen keeps trying to click. That's Dr. Aaron McDonald something.
What?
So she joined on it and answered some questions. It was really cool. So yeah, this is our Zoom people, most of Zoom people.
And how do you join something like this? By going on the cruise?
Yeah.
And then you get invited?
Mm-hmm.
And so is this like a perk for like after?
It wasn't a perk. Trying to get back to see myself. It wasn't a perk for Zoom. We just created this. It was not because of cruise. People just who were on the cruise, Mr. Bay, who they talked to on the cruise. So we decided to start a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And my watch just told me that I finished my stand-up go sitting down.
Maybe it's including all the pages you click on. No,
yeah.
That's cool though, because like even in our STLV groups, we have groups to chat. There's actually two main ones.
Yeah.
There's one that they call themselves the official Star Trek Las Vegas group, but I'm not sure if that's true.
And the unofficial.
Then you have the unofficial, which I think is more actual. Because I mean, I'm in both, but
yeah, I'm in both too. Then you have like
official. Are they actually part of creation, or is this something that a fan just does?
Yeah, I don't know. Because then you also have, what is it, After Dark or After Hours? You have STLV After Hours group.
Well, there's a lot of subgroups based off.
There's a lot of subgroups, but the two main ones is official and unofficial.
Yeah. Heather Baker and I forget the other guy's name, her co-host on their podcast show, the Tricorder Transmissions.
Oh,
they do the unofficial, which is the group I mainly follow.
Yeah. I'm in both. And if you want to follow the cruise, you can join Star Trek Cruise main Facebook page. And then if you're thinking about joining the next year's cruise or whenever, there is like Star Trek Cruise 5 or in the group 4 and then group 3, each other.
What's the average cost to go on a cruise?
It
or do you know the packages?
I can tell you the packages because they have them.
This is still in conversation with the New Worlds trailer, guys. Sort of.
Pricing. So, here, I can screenshot it because that way people can look at it. Go here, do that. Chrome tab. That one. Share. Okay. So this is next year's cruise pricing. A lot of the wait list. So Scott and I are doing this one.
The one that sold out?
Yep. The Promenade View interior. That's what we're doing this year. That's what we're doing next year. Last year we were this one. We did the Spacious Ocean View.
Okay. So what are the differences between the views and I guess in the space?
Okay, so I'm not gonna look at these. These are all the freaking
bigger rooms.
Big suites.
Yeah.
This is one of the Ocean Planet. This is like one of the rooms in the very front of the ship with like all those windows. That's basically what that is.
Oh.
Spacious Ocean View is just with a balcony, so you have a balcony outside. And the spacious, it just means there's a couch in the room with you. That's the only difference. It's bigger.
A couch. That's it.
A couch. It's a lot longer than our so. Then you have ocean balcony, which is a straight up room with the ocean view.
Okay.
Then I don't know what the ultra spacious ocean view is one. That's a lot. Ultra spacious ocean view. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know. I think it's just a bigger room, just like this spacious panoramic view. Then you have just the window ocean view. And then you get to the interesting ones. the promenade view interior, it's the inside rooms, but this interior opens up and looks down the promenade.
Oh, okay.
And the promenade is like this main corridor in the middle of the ship that has like all the restaurants and where they did all the announcements and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the interior virtual balcony basically has a screen that has a video the outside of the ship.
Oh.
So it videos where they're out in the ship.
Okay. Brian has a question for you.
Okay. Let me.
I posted on the thing. Oh.
I'm looking over there so I can see.
Oh. I could ask. If you couldn't see it. I could have.
Oh yeah. So they recommend you have a passport in case there's an issue when you need to fly back home. You don't need a passport per se.
Okay.
If you're a U.S. citizen, but they recommend you have it for many reasons. One, in case let's say you have an accident, you need to be flown home from Jamaica. You have to have a passport to get it. They don't check passports when you get off the ship.
They don't?
Nope. Nope.
How about the room sizes?
Do what?
How about the room sizes? What are those like? Are they spacious? Are they like really cramped?
Let me reshare and I'll let me get my pictures open.
Okay.
And I can show y'all what our room looked like.
Awesome. Can you give me a second and I'm gonna let you share the stream, and I'm gonna go try to help Kaylee turn off the air conditioner so she can join us.
Okay.
So you can just briefly talk about.
Yeah, I can show you the rooms here. I'm trying to open them up right now. Get into our pictures.
Brian says I'm a U.S. citizen, but not a current passport. That's my issue too, Brian.
Passports are pretty easy to get, so
yeah.
Mine was. They said it takes like 4 to 6 weeks. Mine came in 2 weeks.
That's not bad.
I highly suggest making an appointment with the mail because you have to go to the mail office or you have to go to the post office to get your passport.
Mm-hmm.
Highly suggest doing a passport, like a schedule. And then if you have I have AAA, you can go to the AAA office, and depending on what level of AAA you have, you can get a discounted, and they'll take your photo for you. So if you go to the mail office, it's $15 for them to take a photo of you. Because I have AAA and I'm like a platinum or gold member, or whatever, I end up only paying $7. But if you have like the highest tier of AAA, it's free.
Which I do. I do a lot of scouting stuff.
We moved up because my old car would break down a lot, so we had to travel. We had to tow it a lot, so we went up in levels. Anyways, I will screen this, and you can go over there and help Kaylee
with their technical difficulties.
And I will show y'all some pictures.
Okay. Add to the stream, and I'll be right back.
I won't be able to see the screen. I won't be able to see the comments at the moment, so bear with me. I'll just go through a lot of these photos. This is just pictures of the of me traveling to the convention to the ship. This was me in the hotel. Not hotel. This was the airport, and I saw that there was a smart bathroom Wi-Fi, which I thought was interesting. Me, more pictures on the airplanes. Then I found Scott when we got to Miami. This is a hotel we stayed at. All my food from the hotel. It was delicious. It was some type of burger, and all the fries were delicious. More of our food.
Ooh.
So this was a group of the friends we met last year on the cruise.
Okay. Is this actually on the ship, or is this...
This is before.
Okay.
This is before. We did an escape room. We have a whole bunch of our friends prior to the cruise. So we did an escape room in South Beach in Miami. We escaped, of course.
I've actually never done that. It's something I want to do.
I love escape rooms. Those
They
so
have
much
one in
fun.
Vegas. They have one in Vegas. Really
Let's do
close
it.
to the hotel.
This is pictures of Miami. I'm just going through a lot of my
Okay.
photos. I took this because my boss loves Batman, so I was making a joke about him and Batman.
Oh yeah, speaking of Batman, I couldn't believe those ladies last night on the the geek. What do they call those? The Geek Girls? 2 Geek Girls?
I
on our
don't.
podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's called 2 Geek Girls. Lissa is a really awesome person, but and Rises.
This is
Dark Knight Batman Rises. Go ahead.
This is the pre-cruise party. So if you're thinking about going to the cruise, go to this party. You'll meet a whole bunch of people going on the cruise. Whole bunch of nerds. We packed that bar to the max.
So like the A bar?
It's definitely like the A bar. We were dressed up as the Niners. Oh, here's a video.
Hey, videos are good. That just gives you an idea of the size.
Yeah. Wow. This is outside our window of the hotel. I'm trying to get to the cruise photos. Okay, so this is us. We take the shuttle over to the cruise port.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but if you do this, you give them your luggage and they take care of the rest.
Wow.
So it was like $20 to do this. So you get the free shuttle and the free luggage tear. And they take it and give it to the porter. So you don't have to worry about trying to give it to the porters and paying them the tip and all that stuff.
Wow.
Love it. Then this is a standing in line to check in for the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
I took a lot of pictures of this. This is the line.
Wow. It's like going through TSA.
Pretty much. Well, not for me because I pre-checked, but yeah. But it's just
don't get me started with pre-check. I was so mad. No, in 2017, I was so mad, right? Because I went through the line. I was the next person up, and the lady's like, "Oh, sir, you're pre-check. We're going to have to ask you to go in the other line." I'm like, "I'm already here. Can't I just go through the line now?" And
Really?
Yeah, in Vegas. They told me no.
Huh.
They also told me, because you're pre-check, you don't have to go and do the x-ray machine. Yeah, I had to do the x-ray machine.
Oh. I know they randomly pick people, and poor Scott always get hit. Always. Always gets the person. He gets the one who has to get checked. His bag always gets checked all the time. So now I'm on the cruise. They decided to take out all the stuff, and they put all kinds of random Star Trek over these pictures.
Yeah.
So this is by the Sunabar, and it's like the Sunabar has like a pirate theme to it.
Okay.
So it has a lot of the generation. Excuse me. This is one of the flat screens. They always have something Star Trek playing. On the cruise, there is like 3 channels. Mm-hmm. One had just, since it was Voyager, they had all Voyager. One channel had random episodes of all shows, even Discovery. And the other channel had movies playing, all different movies. This is one of those like action figure things.
Scott says, usually because I'm bringing back a ship model, laughing out loud.
Oh. Talking about the TSA when he gets caught, because he's already bringing ships home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This was one of those like action figures that you stand in, take a picture, and it looks like you're an action figure. Photo sets.
Oh, nice.
This is a cake that they did. A cake.
That is insane.
Our food.
Ooh. Now, is that complimentary or is that additional charges depending where you go?
That food here, this is the Windjammer. So this is like the buffet.
Okay.
So it's complimentary. Apparently, I heard that they're not doing buffets anymore. So this is the promenade.
All right.
I was telling you about. And these are the rooms that Scott and I are going to be in.
Okay.
So we're going to look inside the promenade. So we can see all the activities going to go through this.
And that's instead of having an ocean view, correct?
Right. This is like, instead of having an interior room with nothing to look at, you get an interior view.
Actually, I think that might be easier because of the fact that you don't have to look over the ocean and the waves.
Yeah, it all depends on how you feel. So this is our room.
That is big.
This is the spacious ocean view room.
That is bigger than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. And the beds can split up if you want, 2 separate beds, and they put the nightstands in the middle.
Okay.
So if you're sharing somebody who, don't want to share a bed with, like, I don't know, you and your friend, and you don't want to share a bed, whatever,
Yeah.
you can.
Okay.
And then this is the little desk
So
area.
is it a king or a queen?
It's two. It's more like a full.
Okay.
Because there's 2 twins put together.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So Scott surprised me for some flowers, and he got some wine. That boy. And then the couch apparently pulls out to a bed too.
Kaylee left us apparently. Okay, so another bed, so you can act. Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in case you don't want to give up the full size bed, yeah.
The shower was round, and it felt like you're going to a transporter every time you got in the shower.
Nice.
So, fun fact: the shower is a European style shower, and I had to get Scott to go in and show me how to turn the shower on because I could not figure out how to turn it on.
How do you turn on a European shower? Because I have no idea.
It's like, so it's like this random knob that you turn, but the knob is to adjust the temperature. There's another knob that I can't show you somewhere over here that you turn. You turn the middle thing to turn the water on, and then this knob over here is how you control the temperature. It was really weird. It took me. Scott had to come in and show me how to use it, but it was really nice. It was a roomy shower, wasn't? It looked small, but it wasn't that bad. Think of it. Yeah, here's the bathroom.
Okay, not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's weird that the toilet's at an angle, but given the size and the limitations, it makes sense.
I could tell y'all a story about the toilet.
We're a family-friendly show.
It's nothing bad.
Okay, good.
Well, it was nothing bad, but nothing like inappropriate bad. They had a lot of photo opportunities, like little photo booths that you can do all kinds of photos with. And this is the main, and this is the interior. Like this is the promenade again. Yeah. And here's the picture. This is like where they had all the announcements and stuff.
Oh, okay.
This is the pool deck.
Oh, I remember watching your live video. I watched your live video of this.
Ah, you did. Okay. It was really cool, but this ship and the way it's set up, it's really hard to do a lot of things outside. We end up doing a lot of our things down in Studio B because it was so windy. This is looking at Miami.
Time of year, or is it always windy when you're in the ocean?
I think it's just time of year.
Well, that looks good.
Oh, it was delicious.
Kaylee, look at the cheesecake. Go ahead.
This was in the main dining room. It was dessert from the main dining room. This is the theater room they did a lot of the panels at. And this is where we also watched Picard.
Wait, panels?
Panels, yeah.
They do panels at the cruise?
Uh-huh.
With the moderator and everything?
Yeah.
And camera set up so you can see if you're like sitting way back where you guys were? Actually, your seats aren't that bad.
You can pick any seat. You don't have assigned seats.
Oh.
So you can pick anywhere you want to sit. But we learned to sit on the top half because if you sit in the bottom half, you have to stay in line longer.
Ooh, yeah.
So, but also there's for the seating, you have your cards. I don't think I have my card with me. There is a red and blue. So if you're red, you're the second showing. If you're blue, you're the first showing. So they had the showings twice.
Okay.
Because there's so many people, they can't all fit in here.
Okay.
And then some door decorations. I'll go past all of these.
Oh. Janeway Red.
I did a cosplay Janeway Red. There's a lot of these. If y'all want to look at them, let me know. I will pass a lot of these photos. And then Scott surprised me with chocolate covered strawberries because,
Scott's a big hopeless romantic.
He is. Those aren't breakfast in the morning next day. I think this is a Windjammer.
I'm going to say that's a little tiny.
Yeah. I'm not a big breakfast fan, so I had to force myself to eat something. Then here's the panel. This is the Voyager 25th anniversary panel.
Oh, okay.
They did.
Nice.
I see now we're on the other side of the venue. I think I took a lot of these photos, so I'll pass through these fast. Oh, so
Oh, look. Okay, another video.
Yeah. So this, this I'm telling you, our toilet overflowed.
Ugh.
It wasn't like anything in the toilet. Like, okay, so like Scott went upstairs because he had so for photo ops and autographs,
Yeah.
they're timed. So you have certain times you got to go and do it. So it's not whenever you can. It's kind of like STV and like the higher celebrities, where there's certain times you go and get those autographs.
Yeah.
Very much like that on a cruise. So he went and got in line to get an autograph that I didn't want or I didn't pay for. So I was getting ready, and I just got out of the shower. I was, getting ready, and I looked over, and I was like, man, the toilet sounds like it's running often. It sounds like it keeps filling up. I opened the lid, and the water is to the brim.
Ugh.
And the water was gushing out on the other side right here. I don't know if you see my mouth or not.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, right here was gushing out. And I can't zoom in on it, but it's about 2 centimeters of water on my floor in my bathroom.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But the servicemen who came and fixed our toilet were super nice. They sucked the water up. They did a really good job. They even called our steward to come clean our room again because of that issue.
Wow, that's nice.
It was amazing. They were really nice. Okay, here's the
toilets
video.
Toilets like to act out in general. So what do we got here? Huh. Wow, look at that wave. How fast is the ship traveling? Did they tell you?
Yeah. At one point, it was 20 knots.
Okay. Does it feel like it?
No. It was a really rough seas. Like, this cruise was different from last cruise, where it felt like it also was 2 different ships. But this one rocked a lot more than the other one did. And we really felt it in our room, but that's because I think we were in the ship. We were the very last room before you hit the end rooms.
Okay.
So we felt the rocking like this a lot.
Oh.
And it was really windy the whole cruise, so that's why we couldn't do a lot of things up in the pool deck. Then this is the free drinks. It was rum punch. I love rum punch. Oh, it was really strong. So on the cruise, if you get a T-shirt, which I think there's a picture, yeah, us in a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I love that cruise shirt. I almost wore that today. If you wear the T-shirt, you get free booze for the party, the pool party.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, certain booze you can get, not any booze.
Yeah, certain booze.
Yes.
But still.
Oh, here we go.
No, they're just a slide or just a big pool?
Do what?
Any slides on that, or is it just a pool?
Just a pool, no slides.
Oh. Some cruise lines have slides. That's what I was asking.
They're supposed to get a refit, but now they can't. They're supposed to go in dry dock right now.
Okay.
Here's another panel. This was the doctor's panel. The one I was getting late to because my toilet decided to flood. But that's a different story. I'm going to tell that story.
So how many of these have you gone to?
This is my second one.
Okay. So you went to the Kirk one or the Decay one first?
I went to Will Wheaton was the main MC.
Okay, so
last year
I heard there was Kirk and then there was Decay, but they wouldn't do it together.
Yeah, the first one I think was Kirk. The second year had 2 cruises.
Okay, so Decay and Wheaton.
It was just Wheaton. The main guy was Wheaton last year.
Oh. Okay.
So I think this was the Dominican Republic that we didn't go.
Well, you guys just went by it, or did they stop in the Dominican?
The water was too rough, so they delayed a lot of people for a long time because the water. And so this one you had a tender to, so you had to get on a boat and tender over there.
Oh, get on.
And the tenders were like this. I don't think they were. I wish I took video of it.
That would have been cool to see.
Oh, I wish I did. Here's us again looking at.
Whoa! Stop! Go back. What is that, Scott?
What?
Identify this, Scott.
That's a Scott. Yes, it is.
Not the Scott. Look what he's wearing.
Yeah, he's wearing a Star Trek Doctor Who shirt.
Doctor Who's not in Star Trek, Scott.
But it's a great shirt. Everybody loved that shirt. I'm wearing my Discovery shirt. You can't see, but right here is the Discovery con badge.
Oh, okay.
So I'll let you out in a minute, okay?
No, keep it in prison. All right. Scott
Then,
says it's a nice shirt. Oh, he said what? It's a nice shirt.
It is a nice shirt. It's because he's not a Whovian, Scott.
It's crossover.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no crossing over on my podcast. Unless Jenny says so because it's hers too.
You know what? Next podcast, I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt.
Nice.
So, as a benefit for signing up on the ship last year, we got a free Voyager photo op.
Oh, nice.
So, that's what that's what it is. There's Morn. At the bar. At the bar, of course he is.
Morn.
Then it's like they had like drink names. Chaotic Deathray was really good.
Chaotica's
Deathray was good.
Picard's High Tea. James T. Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think I was just taking a picture of the bar. Here's us again. I think we're staying in line for the photo op at that time. So we were waiting for a preface this video quick. I won't play all of it, but we were waiting for a Spock scavenger hunt, and it was supposed to be starting at this bar. And all of a sudden, we're waiting. These people just break out in song. I'll play a little bit because it's 3 minutes long, but
it's a nice thing about when you get large groups together.
yeah, it was like okay. So these are we met this lady. Oh, what was her name? Scott, remember, he's really good at names.
All right, Scott, you're on the spot.
Sally, Susan, Susie.
Starts with an S.
I think. Anyways, we met her at the bar, and she joined us in the scavenger hunt. And the first scavenger hunt was Wendy. Susie, Wendy. Same difference. The first one of the things on the scavenger hunt was to take a picture of some random artwork. So we found some artwork and took a selfie.
Oh, nice.
And then one was shoot a hoop. So we did, and then take a picture of the rock climbing. So we took a picture of the rock climbing wall. It said go to Johnny Rockets and get a picture with one of the waiters, but it was closed, so we just stood next to the Johnny Rocket sign.
They have those in Vegas. Are those any good? I've never been.
It was good. Now ours was different because we got unlimited fries and unlimited onion rings.
Oh.
One of the pictures was take a picture of you knocking on your head. So we did.
Wow.
Do yoga. One of them was like, this wasn't ECP. This was Royal Caribbean's scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay.
So it was do yoga. So we did yoga. So take a picture in the shower. So we went to the pool and took a picture in the shower. Oh, excuse me. Find a ball guide. So we found this random guy. Find somebody with red hair. We couldn't find any red hair, but we found this pinkish red.
Okay.
It's like, okay. Eat a cookie.
Nice.
There's a motorcycle on the promenade that asked to take a picture of. Make silly faces. Find 5 feet. Picture of 5 feet.
Okay.
Giant TV. And then here's some more door decorations. This is our door decoration.
Oh, nice.
Because Harry Kim was on this ship. You know, he was the main person in this ship. Well, one of the new people. So we made Harry Kim's uniform.
With Ensign Pip?
I don't think we did Pips because let's just say we always do this last minute, but we should have. That was a drink we had. I didn't like it.
Ramen
Can't
and
remember
ale?
what it was. It was like ramen ale, but it was horrible. These are in the elevators.
Oh.
So a lot of elevators look into the promenade and up and down. So there's the L'Oreal. I think this was really cool. I think a video of it. The doctor will scan you and tell you what's wrong with you.
Hmm.
Think there's a video. Okay, here we go.
So why is he wearing a blue shirt, not a teal uniform?
I think it's what they can get to do with this,
Oh.
you know. But yeah, I apparently swallowed 3 coins, but had seen no change in me.
Wow. Are they all that
You
corny?
Yeah, you can't hear Scott, so I'm going to skip over it. Because some reason, the women's side, there's women's and men's side. The women's side, you can hear very well. Men's side, you couldn't hear very well.
Oh.
So I'll pass over it because you can't hear it. Oh, the funshine soup was delicious. This is the main dining room.
Okay.
I think this cordon bleu I had.
Ooh, chicken le cordon bleu?
It was okay.
Wow.
Then our steward made a little animal.
Okay.
So each night you come back, they will leave you gifts. Those are the posters, like the ones you see behind me. And then they sometimes make town animals, and they'll also leave you.
You actually get gifts on top of it? Your trip?
Yep.
And is that all based on the level of how much you pay, or is that just everybody?
Nope, everybody gets the same gift.
Okay.
They also leave you tomorrow's guide, like programming guide, so you can plan out your day. And he always lets the TV remote control on. I don't know why, but he always put the remote control on bed. Don't know why, but he always did. I think because we leave the TV on all day long, so he turns it off when he does. Because they do 2 cleanings. So in the morning, they'll come and actually clean your room. And in the evening, they'll come and make up your bed for the night.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like turn down service. So here's our animal. It's like, here's a programming. What it'll look like with the programming.
Oh, nice.
I think this was a C day. Can't see with it. But yeah, there's C days and non-C days, so.
Okay.
This might be Puerto Rico.
Huh.
Yeah, this is Puerto Rico, and we saw a military ship, which we find out was a French cruiser, right, babe? Or was it Norwegian? We discussed it when we saw outside our window. We saw the military ship back out. It was really cool. Yeah. Yeah, we took more pictures of it. Here's our ship.
Nice.
So this is Puerto Rico, yeah.
So how long does it take to get off a ship?
Really easy, because all you have to do is get your. I wish I had my.
Why is Steve getting online and sending me an invite to his Facebook?
Don't know. Like his personal Facebook or like.
No, StreamYards.
What?
He sent me an invite to his StreamYards.
Is he getting on right now?
He is.
Oh, it was a Netherlands cruiser. Okay.
Okay.
But
how? To go back to my question.
Yes.
How long
What
does
was
it
the
take to
question?
get off? How long does it take to get off the ship and get back on again?
Easy, because all you have to do. I wish I had my card with me.
Mhm.
All you have to do is show your cruise boarding card.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. They scan it, they look at you, and you get off. And then when you get back on, they scan your card. You have to make sure your glasses and hat are off to make sure you match your card.
Yeah.
Because when you check in, they take a picture of you.
Oh.
And then if you have a bag, you have to take it to the x-ray machine. And if you bought liquor, you have to check it in and pick it up after the cruise is over with. Because you can't bring liquor. You can't have liquor in your room. That's not the cruise liquor.
Oh. Okay.
I wish I had my. tomorrow's, or I'll see if I can find my cruise ID, and I'll show y'all it.
Okay.
I took a picture of the pigeon because it was so close to us. I thought it was crazy. Here's our ship again.
Wow.
So
are you like on the upper decks or lower decks when you stayed?
Actually, I think did we take a picture? We did. So I'll show you what we are down here.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture. I think it's after when we're coming back. I thought we took a picture of our. Did I pass it? I could have sworn. Oh, you know what? It wasn't on here. I think it was when we went to St. Thomas. We took it. Let me get through these again.
Right.
This is us. I'm just gonna go past all these. This is Puerto Rico.
Are you on a tour bus to take it?
Yeah.
Or did you rent a car? Okay.
Tour bus. We're going to the National Rainforest. So I'll kind of speed up these photos. Here's us in the rainforest. They were talking about, this is really cool. This is a mudslide. They're talking about the hurricane that happened that year. I think Scott sent a picture of the IDs to me.
Netherlands Cruiser, Scott just said. Or he said it like 30 minutes ago.
Okay. He actually has a picture of our ID, so I can show that to y'all.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go past all these. I'm going to go fast. This was the tower that you can look up all around. It was like 200 steps, and I'm like, hell no, I'm not taking that. So we didn't go up the tower because we only had 20 minutes each stop.
Oh, yeah, that would have been rough.
So we just took pictures of it. I'm going to go past a lot of these fast because this is not cruise related. This is just at the rainforest. It's the only national rainforest in the U.S. The waterfall. Sorry, we take a lot of pictures of each other.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Let me get through all these. I took a lot of the rainforest. It was really pretty. That's the Capitol building in Puerto Rico. Thought that was interesting. I love that photo of us. It says, I love PR Puerto Rico. So this is us getting back onto the ship.
Okay, welcome to Explore the Seas.
We went Explore the Seas. That's getting line. Here the next day, we got hats. It's funny, I must have missed a picture of the backpacks we got. Because we got hats. They had laundry service, so if you wanted to get anything cleaned, you can put it in there and they'll wash it for you and you pay for it.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool. You got
a different animal.
Yep. These are the parties. Each night there's a party. I don't know. I have to see closer which one party this is. There was different themes. Like there is Captain Proton, Ryza, Heroes and Villains. I don't know which one this one. Okay, this is the hero. This is the villains. The Ray party.
Okay.
And as you see right there, that's Kenneth Mitchell. He's sitting in his chair, and he actually smosh pits. He gets carried through the crowd.
Oh, okay. Nice. So I was gonna ask, like, do people dress up for these?
Yep. Well, here's me.
Characters. Nice.
So this is me as Red and Janeway.
Okay.
So, and then they put paint on you for the rave part. Because I'm a hero and a villain. Because, Janeway's a hero and Red is a villain.
So Scott says villain's party turns into a rave.
I think Scott was just an admiral at the time.
The admiral.
And some random guy joined us, And this is the last day. Oh, I love these. These are luggage tags, but they're the oh my god, what's it called? A portable emitter. The doctor's emitter, but they're luggage tags.
Oh, mobile emitter?
Mobile emitter. That's why it's like not portable. It's like I know what it is. I cannot think of it. His mobile emitter.
Commander Starfleet International is live. Now let's talk and have some fun. Right.
Why? Really? This is the costume party, or the costume contest.
You know, maybe we should crash his party.
These are a whole bunch of random photos, so I can go through these. Anyways,
Should we?
we can stop and.
No. We not stop. We can stay on ours. I can share the link.
But we
with
can't be on
you.
two.
Of course we can. I did it last time.
You should crash it and we see what happens.
Open a second.
So
Open a second. StreamYard tab.
hold on. I want to show.
Let me send you. I'm gonna send you a private message in here.
Okay.
Wait, where are all the private messages? Comments, banners, comments.
This is the ID I was talking about that we use.
Oh. Okay.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
All right. Why am I having a hard time finding the private chat all of a sudden? Oh, private
Right
chat.
here on the-
Okay, I see it. Click on that link.
Oh my god, he's gonna kill us.
I know he is. That's okay with me.
You sure we can do it too?
Yeah, I did it last time, remember?
Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, it's Tuesday. I'm like, shite, I guess it is.
Okay, here we go.
I mean,
I'm in the back.
I only work a couple days a week, and I got to keep track of which days those are. So when you mess up the schedule, it sort of
All right.
throws me for a loop a little bit. Charlotte, you need to add your camera.
Are you seeing this?
Microphone
Yeah.
so I can add you. It will not let me add
Oh my god, it's echoing so bad.
Yeah, it won't let me add you, ma'am.
So, Steve, why are we here?
I don't know. Right?
Yeah, because we're actually on our own podcast right now.
Yeah, we are right now.
Our own podcast, and you send us an invite.
It's an existential question, but since Steve controls our life and our entertainment, that sort of means if he's bored, we entertain him. No,
Oh, wait a second. So you actually? Yeah, I can hear. You know, the funny thing is I can still talk on mine, even if you meet me on yours. And the best thing is I can talk smack about you on mine, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, I gave up watching you guys. No, there's like nothing literally on TV, so I'm like, oh, I'll come on and.
Okay.
Russell, give me this. Charlotte, we'll be to the back side, okay? Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we're not going to be on long because we actually are doing our own.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to come by and say hi, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Hi and bye. That's your favorite
Hi
tune.
bye. Yep, that's what he does.
Commander Starfleet, Vice Commander Starfleet's calling me. Let's see what this is. Hang on.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Hey, Hooper, how you feeling?
Pretty good, actually.
I'm happy to hear that.
How long before they declare you cured? Thursday. Hey, so you're about as healthy as you ever are?
So one of our so somebody in SFI is currently recovering from COVID-19, and so that's what we were talking about, and he's doing better. So right now we're actually live, so I got to keep saying something, otherwise people are just going to be watching the screen, and it's like, why are these two guys not saying anything?
I'll even go out over there.
Okay. All right, Jenny, you can
He
go ahead.
is. Oh my gosh, guys. Anyways, let's see what we have comments on our channel.
Okay. All right, guys. I just want to say hi real quick. I get it back to our show, but it looks like
Yes, Michelle, that's what we did.
But it looks like Steve's in trouble with the Vice Commander Chief because he knows how he muted himself.
Yep.
Hooper, you're in charge.
Hey, I need to step away for a second. Can you
What?
put me in backstage for a minute? I need to go do something real quick.
Yeah, I can do that. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to abandon you, but Steve sent me a message, and I thought I would just crash his party. Hey, Michelle. Scott, that's awesome. They're crashing at SFI's broadcast. Yes, we were. What can't you believe? Oh, okay. So Scott already answered that question. Thank you, Scott. Does anybody want to come on tonight? I mean, we still have a couple other conversations that we wanted to touch base with, but I'm going to wait for Jenny to come back. The next one is going to be the episode that we watched Tuesday night, which was for the uniform. And I'd like to thank the 6 people who joined us. That was awesome. It was a lot of fun watching it. Sorry that I joined late. But the other thing we're going to be talking about tonight is Shift of the Week, the Nebula class, and then, of course, just general conversations. And then, before we end the show, have you joined our Discord server? So, let me see comments here. Oh, Scott's just giving me a smiley face. Okay. So, unlike other podcast shows, I actually will put your guys' messages on chat, because one thing I notice, especially when I'm on other people's shows, the one thing I really hate is when you're talking about something and then somebody wants to say something or they want to feel like they're contributing, and I like to give them that opportunity. So if you guys make a comment, I will post it. Like this one, when Scott said earlier that we were crashing SFI's party because we were kind of not really talking earlier because Steve's on there, we're trying to be respectful, but at the same time we are crashing him. It is payback because he did say hi and bye and R, so I did the same thing to him. Jenny's back.
All right, sorry guys, I had to go let my dog out before she
Yeah.
Anyways, we should go back to our episode, right?
Yeah. So is Russell Camp watching tonight?
He was supposed to watch us, but now he's on.
Is he? Okay. So our topic for tonight was for the uniform. Originally, what we had set up for this week, and then that new trailer came out. So it's like, you know what? We're going to talk about the new trailer first, which kind of led us into the whole cruise because Anson Mount was there. So now we're going to segue back into the original topic an hour and 16 minutes later.
It happens that way.
Michelle says, need to get a drink and come back. Michelle, you're more than welcome to join us. If you want to be invited, just let me know and I'll send you the invite link. But so for all of us who actually watched for the uniform, Jenny, before we actually break down the episode, why is this not one of your favorites?
I don't know why, but so I think the main reason why is I like more of the medical related episodes, and this one doesn't have really much Bashir in it. Okay. And I'm also not a big fighter. I don't know. It's just not my favorite. I don't know why I don't like it. I know everybody loves that one. I know Scott was like super excited to watch it with us last night. It's just not an episode I like. I don't know if it's because what's going on, how Eddington act, or if it's just not my type of. I don't know. I really don't know why I don't like it, but I just don't.
Maybe it's because when it came out too. Because when it came out, it was like. So we earlier talked about how serialized TV sometimes is a bad thing, especially when it goes too long. But another nice thing a serialized TV does is it sets the pace, and it leads into the next episode, and it builds this, But in DS9, you had like maybe these 3 or 4 stories that would come together, and then you would branch off to something totally new. And that's pretty much where For the Uniform came in, because like I said earlier, you have For the Cause, which was season 4, and then For the Uniform was the follow-up in season 5. It wasn't in the beginning of season 5, it was more like towards the middle.
It was episode season 5, episode like 6, I think.
Okay, so
and for the Cause was season 21. Yeah.
Okay, episode 21. But still, there's that gap right there.
There's a gap, yeah, definitely.
So taking that into consideration, plus the episodes that came before it felt a little odd. I will say that. But again, that's what you expect in a 90s TV series. You have these really high episodes, you have these really low, you have maybe like these some in the middle, then it bounces.
But I never watched it when it first came out.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't start really watching Star Trek until Voyager.
Okay.
Remember, I'm a lot younger than you.
Silent you.
I'm a bit younger than you.
So you might be our youngest fleet commander ever.
Probably. I probably am. I'm young. I'm young, but also I feel old because I'm old.
Wait till you get in your 40s.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Anyways, so I didn't start watching Star Trek to Voyager. I still remember the exact episode I watched and got really hooked onto Star Trek. But anyways, that's a different storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't, and then when I really liked Star Trek, I didn't really watch DS9 until I was in high school. After it was over with, because I thought it was too dark of a series as a kid.
Okay.
It's a very much of a dark series to me, with the war and all that stuff. But now, it's like DS9 is like following Voyager and like who's number one on my list of episodes or series.
My problem with Voyager, I like Voyager. I want to make that clear. Two issues with it. One, it was during the writer's strike. Two, you had all these characters that we love that, for a better lack of term, they felt a little manic depressant. One day they were all happy and loving, and the next day they were all angry and upset. Especially Janeway's character. I hated what the writers did with her character. Because one day she'd be compassionate, and then the next episode she would be just a ruling evil tyrant. You know, and there was no consistency. There was no build up to it. You know, it's, oh, well, I'm a writer and I want to write it this way. So the thing I do like about the new series is that they have a writing team. They're a solid team, and then they bounce ideas off each other. I like that. So I know you're a big fan of the 90s, of the whole, 45 minutes episode and closes.
But I like the new series. Like, I enjoy Picard to a point. Like I said, me personally, I don't like long story arches, and Picard is one giant story arch.
Yeah.
But it was okay because they did it in a way that it wasn't like stretched out story arch.
Okay.
Like, they went. I think I like it because at the season finale of Picard, I'm not going to ruin anything, but they ended what they were looking for or what they were trying to do.
But they raised up many new questions.
They did, yes, they did. But I like that because they ended one thing and started something else to make you start thinking before the new series and for the next season. Like Discovery bypassed the first 2-3 episodes and get to the good stuff. And they'd had a story arc, but it did kind of continue to season 2. So I guess, but it wasn't as bad of a story arc as some things I've seen. Like, come on, can you just finish? Like, there was a series on what's it called? It was a British TV series, Churchill.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's basically like whodunit, but it was a whole entire stretched out story arc of who killed this person.
Oh.
And I didn't like it. But anyways, back to what we wanted to do.
So for the uniform, though, I personally liked it. There are a couple things I did not like about it. Somebody's echoing.
It's Michelle. Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? But for the uniform, the thing I really liked about it was the fact that I think it was more designed for like military members or guys, maybe even cops. I'd go maybe that far.
I can see that.
The whole idea is duty, honor, integrity. And what Sisko said really hit home. It wasn't the fact that Eddington left Starfleet and joined the Maquis. It was the fact that, and this is a problem that we have even in society today. Like when you're about ready to leave a company, the reason why most companies, like when I used to work for T-Mobile, if we knew it was going to be your last day, we would actually pay for the whole entire day and send you home as soon as you got there. You would gather your stuff and you would leave.
Yeah.
You get paid for the full day. Why? Because people can be vindictive on their last day.
That's very true.
And that's not necessarily an evil vindictive. There are some people, I mean,
you don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Like, oh yeah, sure. You went over your plan minutes. Great. Here, let me go ahead and apply $250 credit. To your account, kind of things. And then of course, me being the supervisor, I'd get those calls like, oh, you are promised a $250 credit. Why? So then we learned, when I was working at the call center, we learned like, oh, today's your last day, or oh, you're quitting. Okay. But on the same token, what Michael Eddington did here was he secretly planned to leave Starfleet, but he started feeding misinformation to the Federation, and he started feeding confidential information from the Federation to the Maquis. In his own way, he was a terrorist. I mean,
he was a smart, actual smart terrorist.
Yeah.
Who knew what he was doing.
You know, not only did he do that, but he also created 3 Cascade programs that we know of. 1 on the Defiant, and then 2 on the station.
Mission. Yeah,
and then my only problem with this episode, and actually it goes back to the last episode, was when Kira was knocked out, nobody drew weary of that. You know, why is the chief security officer of Starfleet giving orders when the exit is supposed to be on the station? You know, and
I thought about that. I was wondering why both are on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, like.
Yeah, and then you're gonna trust command to a lieutenant. But anyways, that side plot aside, the whole idea is, you know, Sisko. And I like what Sisko says. He goes, I can give it, you know, basically, I'm just gonna paraphrase. Like, I can basically give a damn, you know, about your personal reasons. You betrayed the uniform. You manipulated your situation to gain a tactical advantage for the enemy. You know, you didn't just leave for a righteous cause. You know, you did irreparable damage to the Federation.
Yeah.
And that is why Sisko went after him. Because, you know, and then to make it worse, not only did you go out, you know, you do that, but then you attacked his starship, you left him defenseless, you know, you pointed a gun at his head. How did you expect the guy to react to you?
And then go and kill people just because? Like, yeah. Now, also, what do you think about Sisko going and killing people?
He had to. He had to make his point. He had to become the villain because Eddington saw himself as being the hero and going after Starfleet because Starfleet was in the wrong in his eyes.
Did you ever see the movie with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson?
Few Good Men?
Yeah, Few Good Men. So that is a prime example that I'll compare that, what Jenny was just saying, to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for the TV series, absolutely he had to. Was it the right call? No.
No.
It wasn't, Michelle. It was not the right call to make. You know, and that's the whole thing. Jack Nicholson's character is like, you know, you have that right. You have the luxury. He goes, I am not, you know, and then he goes in his whole famous speech, right? Jack Nicholson does. Sisko was trying to make, he didn't have the same mental, you know, capacity as the Colonel did, but in his own way, he was trying to end this, you know, he wanted this over, he wanted to complete, and he was literally, to go what Michelle was saying here, he was literally backed into a corner. If he doesn't, I'll bring it. Oh, there you are, Michelle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was literally backed into a corner. It's like if he did not take decisive action, the Maquis were going to turn the tide. They were going to poison every single Cardassian colony. So in his own way, he was justified.
He was justified.
But was it morally right?
No, not at all.
And the fact that he did not get Starfleet's permission to do it.
Yeah, that was like, ooh, and
he did not get in trouble either.
That's what I was saying. To my dog went John. He didn't get in. Okay, we didn't see any trouble from him.
Yeah,
and you would have in subsequent episodes if they were going to address Sisko answering for what he did in the DMZ, in which
they could have done like a no, they didn't. They could have done like a little like the very end.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, I think they should have done was at the very end of the series, have like Admiral come up and say, hey, we need to talk or something like that. Because then we're okay, maybe he is going to get in trouble for what he did. Like, I don't need a whole episode about him getting on trial for it, but I wish they would at least do something to show that he did get in trouble for what he decided to do.
Well, they made a cute little comment at the end of the episode. And I guess in that way, it's like, oh yeah, well, here's that hanging elephant that you fans are probably going to address. So we're going to go ahead and address it now. Oh, Ben, Benjamin, did you contact Starfleet? It's like, oops, I knew I forgot to do something.
Yeah,
something along those lines was his line. I was like, wow. Hey, before we continue this conversation, Brian, I have no idea what you're talking about. There was no androids in that episode.
No.
Do you know what he's talking about, Michelle?
Android thing on the episode?
Unless they were. I don't even remember an android in that episode unless they're talking.
Was there any, there's not any androids on DS9, really?
What, Data came once in a blue moon with the Enterprise?
Movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And we're talking about in comparison to DS9 episode. I don't remember anything about an android. We'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
No, but as far as the episode, though, I really liked it, and I love the fact that he actually did create a scenario. I didn't like the fact that he literally poisoned an entire planet to get Eddington to stop.
Yeah. Also, I want to know is why do we stop using the holographic interaction thing?
Why did we stop using a lot of things?
That's true, because it comes back in Discovery. So I thought that was interesting. How it was in Discovery and it comes to DS9 and then...
Yes and no. Remember, the Discovery one was more like a hologram that we're kind of expecting now, like a gold face. It's not really a full hologram. And that one was like, you literally look like you could feel like you could touch it.
Yeah.
Touch it. Oh. There you go, touch it.
Oh. He's talking about Picard.
Okay,
the ending of Picard. Okay. We're not going to talk about the ending of Picard. But okay.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to ruin it for people who have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I've only watched episode 1 of Picard. I haven't even watched the season yet.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's why I'm going to...
I will tell you, the first couple episodes are a little slow, but it's building up the story. Just hang with it, Michelle. It gets better.
It might be one of those where when I sit at work and I'm by myself, I may have to put it on and just listen to it while I'm doing my thing.
Episode 8 is really good, though. I really liked episode 8. I watched that one 9 times. No, but as far as the uniform goes, I really liked it in the whole aspect. It reminded me of, being a military member and, and you're always being preached, you're always being hammered to, duty before dishonor. Your duty comes first, your work comes first, and you don't betray things. You don't betray the uniform, you don't betray. What, Michelle? Oh, she might be talking to somebody else.
No, I'm talking to myself because I'm on mute, so you don't get the background feed. And I'm doing a little more reading, a little more in depth, and some things now just the light bulb came on.
Ding.
Ding.
So, thank God for memoryalpha.fandom.com. It goes into a little more depth, and so if anyone who's watched Les Miserables, that it kind of comes into play. Sisko did, the evil that should have been the Maquis doing, but Sisko did it, and yeah.
But I did give the book to him to say him to read it.
Yeah,
but I never seen that the man read it. So,
but I like the fact that that Sisko twisted his own. He's like, I know, I know I have to do something. I know I'm going to have to be the bad guy. But what can I do? I mean, do you guys really think he would have poisoned every single colony in the Cardass, every single Maquis colony?
He probably could, but I don't think he would.
My guess
I think he made his point with the one.
Yeah.
And
also, I think Starfleet will get to him before anything else.
And that for him to show he wasn't bluffing to Eddington, like, I'm going to take out this one. Eddington, no, you won't. You really want to play chicken with Sisko? All right. Because you've already embarrassed him.
Yeah.
Starfleet sent a whole nother ship to go take Eddington because Sisko took over 8 months to figure it out.
Yeah.
This was Sisko's way to redeem himself. The damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yeah. And also in that particular situation, that is a good point. It's 8 months later. We're talking about from one season to the next, and Sisko's had all this time to fester on it. Plus the fact that I like what Sisko said, you damaged, the Malinche. But he never mentioned his own ships. But he also damaged the, and potentially out for dead. Luckily the Malinche wasn't too far away, and they had the communication. But what happens if they did not have that communications?
Yeah.
They would have been drifting, trying to get their computers back online, and discover that they can't because they've all been wiped.
Poor Nog.
What do you mean?
Because he had it. Because they lost all the computer stuff. I can't remember all. Because they got that cascade effect.
Yeah.
Nog had to be the combat between the bridge and the engineering.
But he owned that. He totally owned that.
I know, but can you just imagine being that person who has to relay everything from the bridge to the engineering to bridge?
I like the one scene where Cisco's like, or the Chief O'Brien's like, yeah, basically tell Captain Cisco I don't recommend, traveling at high speeds through the nebula. And Cisco's like, objection noted, no, give me more speed. And Nog's like, more speed. He wasn't even gonna try to justify that to the chief. He's like, I'm not getting involved in this one. I'm paid to translate.
And he goes, wait, I'm gonna be on a bridge and it's gonna be on fire. What?
What? Well, it's probably the safest place. There are no windows on the bridge.
No.
It's on the first level. The escape pods are really close by.
You hope like hell you get to an escape pod soon enough?
Well, those ships are tough, Michelle. I mean, we saw them like what was the episode? It was 2 minutes. Wasn't like 2 minutes where in Way of the Warrior where the Defiant had to lower its shields and had its plate of armor, and of course Worf helped with the modulated phasers against the Klingon Vorcha class. That they, and then the Klingons started coming in at point blank. But then there was another time where the Lakota was fighting them. And they also had their blade of armor and like Starfleet. I love the line that the Captain Lakota says, like, Starfleet for neglect. Someone forgot to neglect to tell Starfleet about the blade of armor. It's like, oops, did we do that? Our bad. I like Scott's message here. A blade of armor for the win.
Of course.
No, but the ship itself is a pretty cool little ship. But
Defiant's a really nice ship.
Now, here's my only other issue with this. Like, did Cisco potentially risk his crew? And on the same time, I think Star Trek should be exact. When I think of Star Trek and I think of because I did spend 2 weeks on a naval vessel. That was enough to convince me never to do it again. But, if you've ever been on a Navy ship, or you could probably watch TV, they're semi-accurate on it. But you can kind of see, like, life on a naval ship is very busy, especially if you ever get to go on the bridge. And there's a lot of chatter going on. And that's the one thing I really liked. I felt like it felt more like a Navy Starfleet instead of what you normally see on TV.
I did like that, how they really... I think that's why Scott really likes this episode, too, because he's a tech guy. He likes all that mumbo-jumbo tech stuff. It was kind of neat to actually see them all saying, okay, the deflector shear is ready. I can't remember all the things they said. Yeah. Aft thrusters at full, or stuff like that. It was really nice to see that, and all the techno babble stuff going on. So from a
military perspective, I like that. Mm-hmm. From a Trek perspective, and then also here's a captain. You have 50 people. You're at full staff because the ship needs every single person to run it because everything is manual. It's like, what is your logic behind this? You have no tractor beam, you have no transporters, you have no food. So not only do they have to do that, but they're, these guys are surviving on rations. How long are they going to be out for?
I do not want to be the pilot of that ship. Can you imagine manually flying that thing? No, thank you. Oh, also, I thought this was interesting. I've been watching a lot of DS9, a lot of shows, and I've been watching them, and I'm finding little tidbits. I'm like, wait, how's that possible? My thought is, why is Bashir on? Okay, they know they're going to go into battle. They know they're going to fight with Eddington. They know that.
Yeah.
Why is Bashir on the bridge and not in sickbay?
TOS. You saw Bones a lot on the bridge. Even in the movies, you see Bones on the bridge too.
He's a senior officer.
Yeah, but he's senior officer, but he's also senior officer for the sick bay, so he should be down there prepared to take in all these.
Every once in a blue moon, you saw a Crusher on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah, a little bit, not as much.
Well, the Defiant sick bay is not really a sick bay. It's just like
no,
3
it's true. It's a little
biobeds.
medical bay, yeah.
Yeah. So
I just thought it was interesting.
Would you want to be trapped in a little box with nothing to do?
I'm pretty sure.
I got 2 words for that, and they're not polite for kids.
Oh, well, my kids can't hear you.
There's a whole lot of fuck no.
There you go. So yeah, if I was him, I'd be like, "Oh, look, someone finally broke their arm. Come on, let's go to sick bay."
But in battle, somebody's gonna break up. You know, if it's any other day, like if they're just going out to explore, perfectly fine. He can be on the bridge. But I'm saying is when they know they're about to go into battle, they know you're gonna have injured people on the ship. They're gonna get hurt because you're battling.
Well, the thing about Bashir's character is, so you have the old man, Jadzia Dax, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is one side of the, the whispering of the ear, like the old mentor.
Yeah.
And you got Bashir, who is the more logical type. No, the more logical type guy is like, hey, why are we doing this? What are we doing this for? The voice of reason, shall we say.
That's true.
And so there's another episode that he did. We're going to get back to for the Uniform Promise, but there's an episode where it was The Way of the Warrior, where Bashir points out, it's like, hey, you know that we're not supposed to use the cloaking device, within Federation, within the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, I won't tell the Romans if you won't. It was Bashir's response after Sisko's like, we need to get to the council members. So it was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of nice, but at the same time, he's also the voice of reason. Like, hey, I just want to point this out to you.
He is worse. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I think the law it's just me. But anyways.
But as far as For the Uniform goes, you have this whole scenario that Sisko sets up, and it is a darker side of Star Trek. But in some ways, I think it also established that Sisko could bend the rules to potentially break them in order for the betterment of the Federation. Prime example is in the Pale Moonlight.
Yeah.
It's a great precursor for that episode because it shows a darker side of, Sisko will do what it takes to save the Federation.
If you look at each era of this series, and it's been said in other places and by other people, DS9 is DS9's the far end of the Federation. And Roddenberry was all about, there was no money, there was no, all this other things, no money, no poverty, no any of this. And what do you end up with DS9? You've got, former Cardassian mining space station. You got Ferengis, press latinum. And it's all the things that is more realistic of what the grittier side, other than this polish that you would seen from other series and after.
She brings to a good point. Like, there's a character, Admiral Layton's character. In my writing group that I belong to, we're actually exploring what happened to Layton after the war, after the Dominion War. And he's up to his old antics again, and he's part of the new Maquis. And, we're an alternate universe, so we don't care if we follow the canon too hard. But we do try to keep anything that happens in the main universe will happen in that universe. But we have some fun with it. So I like me personally, I do like the darker side of Star Trek. I mean, I like the idea that Starfleet is this perfect utopia. But then when you start looking at Starfleet, when you start looking at the core world, you start realizing that, oh, yes, everything is peaceful if you live by these particular rules. So if you're on a Starfleet vessel, yeah, you have this so-called utopia of, happiness and, And if you're on the core planet worlds, like if you're on Earth, for example, if you're on Beta Z, or if you're on Risa, you know, you see this utopia. But if you're on some of the outer colonies, you kind of got a sense that things weren't always what they portrayed. And then you get Deep Space Nine, which is out in the wild frontier. You know, that's what they called it. They called it the wild frontier. That's why Bashir went out there, because he was excited. It was, you know, frontier medicine.
Didn't somewhere someone say, and maybe I'm misquoting and hearing, how there were the Badlands out near DS9?
I didn't get it. It cut out.
I said, didn't someone somewhere say that there were the Badlands near DS9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you think about it, between the show, wasn't one couple of the show writers, producers, and wasn't one of them like Brandon Braga?
Yeah.
And think about what all the different shuttles were named. They're named after major rivers in the United States.
Yeah.
And that whole Western Untamed kind of feel, as you were pointing out, about
Wagon Train to the Skies yet again.
Well, that was the 60s. Was the way, you know, is how Roddenberry could explain Star Trek to slick suits, Wagon Train to the Stars. And yeah, we got our bit of cowboy out of Kirk, and now Cisco as we talk about DS9. And here we are cowboying out there in the Badlands and dealing with the bad Maquis.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Peanut Gallery, Chief Rico.
And then, you know, then there's also the Cardassians and their struggle with the whole thing. The one thing that DS9 did really well, I'm gonna dog on Gene Roddenberry just a little bit. I hated his portrayal of the Ferengi in the Next Generation.
So fun.
I love the fact that they were fleshed out. Go ahead.
So let's talk about that. I have a friend who's watching Star Trek for the first time. He just finished TOS and he's middle of TNG. And I asked him, it's like, so how you like Star Trek? He goes, him and his girlfriend are watching Girl, and his girlfriend goes, I hate that Ferengi. I was like, oh. I was like, just get through TNG, and the Ferengi gets so much better when you get to DS9. And I realized how much they are so ruthless. Like, yes, they're ruthless people. But in TNG, they are a lot more ruthless than they are in DS9. And I had told him, just get through it. They change, and you like them better soon.
Hi, Brett. Thank you for joining us tonight. No, but you're absolutely right, especially with the Ferengi and even the Cardassians. The Cardassians and the Ferengi both were two-dimensional character or race. You know, they were obviously the main plot villain. I'll bring Jenny back on in a minute. They're obviously the main plot villain and of the week. And no offense, but I don't think Gene had any idea what he wanted to do with them. So when the showrunners for DS9 came on, and they were not a show created by Gene Roddenberry. I mean, I think he greenlighted
it was the first one. He may have gave his blessing, but this was the first real series after Roddenberry.
So, like I said, I love the fact that they turned around and they made it more realistic. Okay, and I like the fact that they did keep true. For the most part, the Federation is this peace-loving society. If you're at the core world or if you're on the ship. But if you're on different planets, you can tell that things aren't always as they are. And then Deep Space Nine really opened our eyes, like, oh, okay, so we're on a Cardassian station occupied by Bajorans, you know, and managed by the Federation or managed by Starfleet. You know, things aren't going to be happy. You know, things aren't going to be happy. You know, everybody's all happy, and you know, we're all going to get along.
You have an Irish engineer beating the snot out of things to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely true. No, but
I mean, hello, O'Brien. He jumped from TNG to DS9. Colin O'Brien.
Yeah, Colin Meaney.
Miles O'Brien.
Yeah,
Miles O'Brien.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Welcome back, Jenny.
Sorry, guys. My dog is being a butt right now. Anyways.
Oh, all for children. 2-footed and 4-footed are little shits.
All right. So But I think we pretty much hit the main topics for the uniform. It's just, and I think we kind of got put on a warp. Oh, Scott says warp jumped as well. That I love the fact that DS9 really opened the door to the way things were different, and really could be. And we saw firsthand in Voyager some of these changes. Like you were saying, Jenny, that's the first time you came onto the series. You know, to watch the series. It was the wild frontier of Star Trek. It felt more like Wagons to the West, in my opinion, because, and we kind of talked about this before you came on, Michelle, but the only problem with Voyager, in my personal opinion, is the fact that it was during the Writers Guild, and you had a lot of different writers who didn't know how to write the characters. There was no consistency in characters. You had, like, 1 week you would have Janeway being happy, you know, really mothering and nurturing. Next minute, she would just be off on a complete left tangent.
No, you're absolutely right. And for me and Voyager, it's now with the podcast, I am one of those people who truly enjoys knowing the backstory. I like knowing the behind the scenes, what went on.
Yeah, me
so
too.
For me to listen to Garrett and Robbie talk about how they started into the series, how they first got their parts, and as we're progressing on. And so we'll go watch an episode, listen to a podcast, and then it just gives it that much more depth. And for me, between DS9 and Voyager was a really weird time for me of high school, graduating, real life, where Trek kind of fell to the wayside. I couldn't stay up on it week to week. That now as an adult and allegedly all this time on my hands, you know, I can sit at night, watch an episode or two, listen to the podcast on my way to work in the morning and be like, oh my God, all this makes sense now. Why it look like you're walking funny or you're hunched over, and why? You know, you learn these things. So, I mean, DS9 for me is the real, you know, the gritty end of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Voyager, the sad thing was, the writers and the writer strike and that whole drama didn't do any favors. But at the same time, I think the writers were geared and ready to write for a whole different woman. That was not Kate Mulgrew. So that, I think, for a bit had something to do with it until they found the flow to maybe get their shit together.
Yeah. The other thing I do like is, even though a lot of people don't like the series, the one thing I also will touch base here is Enterprise. Star Trek Enterprise series.
I love Enterprise.
Well, some people hate it's one of those well, how should I say it? It's one of those era specific Star Trek shows that it has a small following, but it has a lot of hate behind it too.
Yeah, it does. A lot of hate.
You know, but it opened the door, in my opinion, to Discovery. So I actually credit shows like Enterprise and Deep Space Nine to allow the kind of streaming that we're getting now with Star Trek Picard, with Star Trek Discovery. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to go with Stranger New Worlds. You know, are we going to see more of that, or are we going to see, like he said, a more return to classic Trek? Either way, I'm really excited to see Anson Mount back in the captain's chair again.
Anson Mount and his beard. Man.
I'm pretty sure that's going to get shaved off before the series starts.
Oh, yeah, I know, but right now.
Okay.
But, yep.
What? A beard? I missed something.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
You didn't see the new...
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, give me a second, and I will find it.
So, you seen the new trailer for the new Star Trek series coming out? Strange New World?
I don't even think I've seen the trailer yet.
Oh my goodness. We'll have to play it again for the third time, because it's amazing.
Just throw me a link. I'll watch it. I'll watch it offside.
Oh, no, I have no problem showing this off again.
Oh, no.
Anything to throw up and make you play with something new, right?
No, actually, I'm really excited for this.
I'm super excited for it. I shared it everywhere.
You guys see it?
Yep.
Strange.
New worlds.
You asked. We listened. It's happening.
Wow, I'm so glad I finally get to share this news with you guys.
Speaking just for myself, I have never received more love from a fan base. than I have from the Star Trek family.
Without you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you so much.
I can't wait to put on that gold Starfleet uniform and deliver number one right along Captain Pike and Spock.
It is a huge honor.
And it means even more for us to be able to announce this right now at a time when so much of the planet is hurting.
The ethos of Star Trek is so curious and welcoming and unifying.
And we're going to get to work on a classic Star Trek show that deals with optimism and the future.
Here we go. I can't wait.
And I guess there's only one more thing to say. Hit it.
All right, what do you think, Michelle?
Okie dokie then.
What? Okay, first reaction.
That's show me a decent clip. Show me a good trailer.
I can't because
you haven't made one.
That's in response to you've only how much of Discovery have you seen?
None.
Okay, so that's in response to season 2 of Discovery, and Pike is the captain of the Enterprise.
Right. The part of what I've caught is like either they killed Pike off or Pike stepped off, and the fans lost their ever-loving collective shit and wanted him back.
Anson Mount does a wonderful job doing Pike.
So, I mean, what fans have proven time and again since TOS, enough fans bitch and put forth the effort to go, no, we want this. Produce something we'll watch.
Yeah.
And that's
so
what they're gonna do.
Here you go. My whole face is the blonde woman, and her enthusiasm was slightly different.
She has black hair in the show. I think she wears a wig though.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Just the way she comes across was like, okay, thanks.
Well, you got to realize they're actors, so this is what she normally acts like.
If that's how she usually is, great. You know what? I'm gonna jump fandoms for a second.
Okay.
Daisy Ridley, Star Wars. She's sitting on the couch of the Graham Norton show, and she's out there doing the PR for one of the two or second or third movie that had just come out, and she's like, I would like a job. Anyone hiring, please? You know, any actors is grateful to get work. You'll hear them say it time and again. So, awesome. She was a little too enthusiastic for me. I don't know if that's her and her being real. The other two seemed, you could tell they were, excited, but there's a bit of a calmness. That's them. And yes, Debbie, Pike is hot. I know what he looks like without a beard, and him with the beard, just kind of, I could go for that too.
Christopher Pike.
Yes, Christopher Pike.
Okay.
Well,
you know what? If you ain't looking
drop.
at the menu, you're dead. You can look at the dessert menu all you want. Just go eat at home.
All right, I want to address this because Scott asked this a while.
Appreciation for a particularly good.
Scott mentioned this a little bit ago, and I want to address this real quick, and then I want to get back on topic. I don't think they'll ever do a war series, Scott. The best you'll get is maybe a movie, a one-off movie, or maybe a one-off short treks.
I think a short trek would be okay with him, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Because the poor character. If you talk about all the different shows that he's been on, The Next Generation, he's always made fun of because every recommendation, no. Another recommendation, no. Then he comes on to, he gets a little more credibility in Deep Space Nine, but still a lot of no. And then the first time he actually does get something, he kind of screws it up by saving his wife, which I would have done in his situation anyways. But, then it comes, I married one.
The beard. They're talking about beards in the chat.
Oh, okay. Real men have beards.
Unlike some of us, I look at the real chat and kind of answer the live chat while I'm, commentary.
Sorry, Scott. I guess you're not real.
Oh, Scott, beard time, buddy. Beard, grow it out.
I'll tell you why later. It's a personal reason, but I'll tell you later.
You only have to, Scott. You only have to. She can't see me talking to you right now, okay, Scott? You only have to shave it when she comes and visits you.
There's gonna have to be a ladies only center seat sometime. Just saying.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh.
Oh, here we
really
go.
now?
All
Yeah,
right.
but you know what? Neither one of us have controls. Therefore,
That's true. Yeah, we don't have controls.
What do you do?
I ain't done shit yet.
Problem is, this is Tennessee. We should talk about Star Trek, and I'm like, well, what? Well, we can talk about ladies on Star Trek. Heck yeah, we can.
Yes, we can. The women in Star Trek. By the way, today is Janeway's birthday.
It is.
Awesome.
It is.
Now, there is actually a group on Axanar, the Women of Geek, Two Geek Women or something like that. What's the name of that show they have? Lisa Beck's on it.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Two
Geek Girls? Two Geek Girls, I think.
It's Two Geek Girls, yeah. I seen it. I think I seen a bits and pieces of it, but
yeah.
So speaking of
yeah.
Voyager and all that stuff, and since we're finished with the For the Uniform, next Tuesday we are not going to have a viewing because the live stage, actors stage, shoot, I have to find the link. They are doing a 25th anniversary Voyager panel on Tuesday at like 7 p.m. Central. So I will be watching that and not doing a show on Tuesday night.
Where's that at? Is there a link in the Discord? Something?
Let me get the link real quick.
Yeah, you should share that in Discord.
Is that something similar to like what I threw up for Garrett and Robbie, where they were doing that live panel?
It's like a live panel. I just gotta find it. I have a lot of comments on my Facebook. Holy cow.
Yeah, I think you can blame Steve for that, for all those friend invites.
I'm gonna kill him. I mean, I'm not gonna kill him. No, that's not what I'm gonna do.
Kill him.
You'll make him sorry later.
Yes, that's
such
better.
a wide broad topic that could go so many ways.
Steve, she will too.
If he's not even watching, he's probably still in his own show.
Yeah.
Stars in the House. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I will send y'all this link. Open link. Copy link. Here, Jay, I'll send it to you so you can, if you want to open up the link. It's on my phone, so it's harder. Yeah, send it through Facebook because that's the easiest for me.
Okay.
Because I'm not on my computer. And then I will go put it in Discord for everybody who's in Discord. That's right. Everybody should join us in Discord. It's fun.
Let me see if I can share that. Chrome tab. All right. So, can you guys see this?
Yeah, I can see whatever you've got thrown up.
All right.
Drop the notification, doohickey.
So, yeah, it looks like Star Trek Voyager to celebrate 25th anniversary with cast reunion on Stars in the House. Okay.
Stars in the House. Mm-hmm.
It will be on Tuesday, May 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on the YouTube channel. It looks like it'll have Kate Mulgrew, Jerry Ryan, Roxanne Dawson, Robert Beltran, Robert Duncan McNeil, Robert Picardo, Ethan Phillips, and Garrett Wong.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
They had to have filmed this or done something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe or live. Garrett is recovering from having some serious back surgery. So.
Oh. What kind of surgery?
He was on our. He got his something up in his neck area.
The C, like a C4, C5.
Yeah.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah.
He was on the chat Friday night. So.
Okay.
When Anson Mount, I don't know, Michelle, if you know if you heard this. On Friday nights, I joined a Zoom chat with a whole bunch of my Trek friends, and Megan, who's Garrett's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Megan and Aaron create this account, and every Friday night we get on Zoom and we talk about Trek and anything, really anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just we miss everybody. And last Friday, Ansamount bombed our Zoom account. And we weren't expecting it because it was one of those things that they posted. One of our members sent him the link, and so he decided to bomb it. And so everybody popped back on. This is like midnight, my time, Central Time.
Oh my god!
And so Garrett got on because he's recovering at home in his parents' house, and he got on along with Ansamount. So yeah, I won't be doing.
Demote him to Cabin Boy?
Who to Cabin Boy? No one is getting demoted to Cabin Boy.
It's not nice.
I know. I don't know what Brian's talking about. But thank you for watching tonight, Brian.
Oh, he might be me. Well, I told Brett to bite. I told Mr. Thompson to bite me and demote him to Cabin Boy. Yeah, we could demote Mr. Thompson to Cabin Boy. He still has to take care of the torpedo pay, though.
Mr. Thompson? Oh,
yes.
Somebody's in trouble.
Uh-huh.
I'll give him a couple of minutes to try to defend himself.
There you go. It looks like Scott. Thank you, Scott, for plugging our Discord.
Yes.
That's their Discord, right? ATC.
I don't know.
That's ours. I think.
Going to go. Well, the Discord.
Hopefully, he didn't do his.
Actually, he must have deleted it because it is not in the Facebook that I can read.
Here's Brett's response to you, Michelle.
Oh, Brett. You do know there's still torpedo pods that have not been inventoried? Inventory, scrubs, pitter patter, let's get at her.
So, but I do know what episode we're going to do. Not next week, but the week after next. We are going to go to TNG.
Okay.
And we're going to watch Justice.
Justice.
That's the one where Wesley Crusher doesn't know the rules, and he falls in the flower bed, and they try to trial him.
Well, that's another.
Yes, a prime source of the Prime Directive in all its glory.
I thought I actually liked the episode a lot. So, and it's a really good, I think, episode we can talk about ethics and things like that.
I think he says Steve can be the Cabin Boy.
I ain't touching that.
Let me go into his other one and tell him that.
I am not going down that rabbit hole. Thank you very much.
Oh, here we go. Brian says, on the Pegasus, we demote people for a month if you do something wrong. I was called Velcro pins for a while.
Whoopsie.
Whoops. Then Brett says, I'm on medical leave, laughing aloud. Doctor's offers, or doctor's orders.
Orders.
Yeah.
At least they get.
Brett, so Mr. Thompson.
Dad, I have a question.
Mr. Thompson must be on some good meds if he can't type.
I mean, the D and the F are right next to each other, and I'm that same way. I can't type.
For you, I spend so much time.
My son asked me if I want to play chess, but I don't think he realizes I'm on a.
You know what? I don't know how to play chess.
Playing chess, it looks like you're gonna shoot them off the board. I could go for that kind of game.
Michelle said, this one's Michelle here. She says she could play that kind of game if you get to shoot the pieces off the board.
No! I spent so much time doing work.
Well, I'm not saying destroy your nice, good work. I'm just saying that's a gun. I'd be for shooting stuff off a board.
I don't know how to play chess, so.
Fine it, Daniel. I'll play chess while.
Oh my goodness!
It's called multitasking, Dad. Pitter patter.
But he's a guy. Guys can't multitask.
Really?
Chief Rico, folks.
I'm also a supervisor. I can multitask.
That's the peanut gallery that I'm offsides talking to a lot.
How's it going, sir?
He's saying, how's it going, sir?
The fuck you calling, sir? I work for goddamn living.
Apparently I work too, but I call
he's one of those graybeards of the get the F off my lawn mentality. I married a grumpy dwarf.
I like Brett's comment here. I can't type.
Yes, Brett, we know you can't.
Me either. It's okay, Brett. We can join the club. I can't
Mind
type
you,
either.
my husband was more of an NCO, not an officer. Hence why sir and Army. He was 11th Cav.
I can say Southern man because I was raised Southern. That's what you're supposed to do with Southerns.
True. And then I'm all... I am to tell you, give him hell, Chief Rico. From Brett from the Thunderchild.
Get back in your fucking tube.
So, Brett, you were informed to get back in your effing tube.
We got
Scott, you can't multitask. I seen you try.
Oh, hey, be nice now. There's no reason to be mean to your significant other. Yeah, wait till you're married before you start hammering down.
Well, he should do something about this hand.
All right, watch this.
Oh, we're watching your hand.
This is great podcasting here.
So while we're watching them play a little bit of some chess here, did I, in my whole having life suck me in and working later than I should have, did I totally miss the center seat podcast of talking about Delta Flyers?
Not yet, because we haven't got there yet. I only seen I've only listened to the first podcast.
See, I watched the podcast because I paid a little extra for the Patreon.
And see, I'm a little upset. I'm upset because when they do the podcast, I can tell that they're showing things on the camera, and when you don't listen or pay, it gets frustrating because you don't know what they're doing on the camera, like what they're doing on the camera.
I can tell you for the most part, it's more like I talk with my hands, so I'll be saying things and gesturing.
Yeah, I do too.
And that is about what they're doing.
Okay.
They're
so
just
I just
gesturing with
things
their
I
hands.
listen to, and they're pointing at something. I'm like, okay, guys, you got to remember that some people are just listening to it and not watching the podcast.
So,
but they're still learning, and they're still new. So,
oh yeah. So no, you're not
missing much.
No, it's not like they're holding up and showing something, and
they're
talking about it, and you're missing out at looking at this great plaque, or someone made them a pad. No, it's not.
Yeah, I've only listened to the first episode. That cracked up how Garrett took over the whole entire podcast, basically, and talked about his shoes.
Yeah, the shoes. He got.
Oh wait,
Brent
have
Finer's...
you seen it yet, Jay? Have you listened to the first episode? Okay. To make sure. I haven't watched the second two. I keep meaning to. It's only 30 minutes long. I should be able to listen to it, but I?
Right? So
I would literally.
We can make another date, another time where we all can do a thing. I was just curious because my life went.
We could talk about it.
I totally did not keep track of the days of the week. They all kind of blended together.
Wednesday's kind of a highlight for me. It's like, ooh, it's Wednesday. I can come on and just talk.
I need someone to poke me, remind me. This was a Facebook epically failed and didn't show me my notification like it was supposed to.
Apparently, everybody's having notification errors right now on Facebook.
Well, Facebook said,
yeah, well, Facebook decided that a video I posted about a woman announcing that she's pregnant was violating the community standards of spam.
Oh, here's another one for you from Tumblr. It's clean. It's a parody of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but set to Hogwarts. My girlfriend went to share it. She sent the screenshot that Facebook said it violated community standards.
Yep, I have a screenshot too.
Give me a fucking break. MeWe is the new thing to use to get away from Facebook.
What is?
MeWe. I will throw up a link.
Okay.
I will give you a link. It's another social media platform. One of the authors I follow and read, when he goes into Facebook jail, this is where he goes.
All the way down right there.
Ah.
Check.
One. Oh, for the love of St. Francis. And what was the gift?
It was a person, a person pulling over.
Just drop it,
Being
Nathaniel.
pulled over by a cop. And what it was is person getting pulled over by a cop, and the cop saying, "You're gonna get a ticket because there's a child and you don't have a child seat." You know, playing that type of like you have a child in the car and you don't have a child seat. And the guy's like, "I don't have a car, I don't have a child," and then realized the wife's holding up the positive pregnancy test, and they were just playing along with them. And it was just his wife having a little joke on her husband about she's positive that she's pregnant.
And Facebook thinks it's for the love of Saint, for the love of all that is holy. Jesus fried fish.
Is it my turn?
There's a fun you had to force on through.
Jesus fried fish. That's the new one.
That's the cleaner version of me using more profanity. I told you I am not safe for kids, safe for work. I am your salty captain. Let me tell you what.
I use fudge a lot.
Jesus fried fish came up. What was the other one?
I'll say cheese and crackers. Cheese and crackers.
There's that one. On a crutch.
You know, since Jay's not really paying attention, we can stop talking about girly stuff.
I am paying attention.
What did you see that was sweet there, Mr. Thompson?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, what?
No, give him a few seconds because you know he's.
Yeah, I need to figure out how Ashley delayed this really is.
Well, I have up the other one, and it's about a 30 to 45 second delay or better.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah. So because you're the only one, Jay, as the host, you can do all the usual things.
Yeah.
The rest of, when you step away, we can't move up the live comments or your.
Apparently you can because Russ, on SFI's little podcast thing they do, Russell is now assistant. What do you call that? Not produce.
Executive producer?
Yeah, producer. He's assistant producer, and he can move up the live comments.
I wonder if Steve gave him his credentials.
But Steve was on it too. It's Steve and Russell. And Steve had to step away for a moment, and he went to backstage, I'm assuming. And Russell took over, and he can do overlays on the screen. He can click on people's comments. So I don't know.
Must be something on the host's end that they can do
that
more.
He can like a co-host or something, kind of like Zoom, where you can have a co-host and the.
Well, because I was looking just now and trying to find anything to help with that situation.
And it might be like a different description service he has or whatever.
Well, I think. Well, Steve has 8 hours of recording. I only have 4. That's the only difference between us, I believe.
I shouldn't make no. Never mind.
I can ask Russell later. I've been talking with him.
That sounded almost vaguely like a threat.
All right.
I'm gonna talk to him.
I was like, okay, he's been helping with because I did join SFI, and he's helping me learn their stuff. So that's it.
Take out the night.
Great entertainment. He's playing chess.
Well, my 13-year-old son apparently needs me to play chess with him. All right. Anyways, guys, so let's move on to the next topic, which was the Nebula class ship. We kind of already touched base with the Galaxy, and the Nebula is basically a science vessel equivalent of the Galaxy class. It is slightly smaller and has less of a hull. I mean, it depends how you look at the hull. I guess it has less of a neck, but it has a bigger hull.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my comment to myself.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
No, I can't.
I purposely said that.
I'm good.
All right, Nathaniel, my rook to your rook. Okay. No, because seriously, like if you look at the Nebula, it has the Galaxy saucer, and then it has it looks like somebody took 2 halves of a galaxy under the hole and slapped it together and squished it up. And rearranged in the cells.
So, as a Nebula class, as a family ship, I think, because it's a science one, I think it would be more a family-related ship than, like, a battle, like, not battle cruiser, like the Galaxy Crisis.
Yeah.
Because it's science, I think science, you can have more families on it, per se.
Mhm.
But I think that's why I just think, when I think a family ship, I think science-related or a resource vessel, because you can dedicate your family, you can dedicate work on the ship, and you're not worried about your family, dying in a battle.
Well,
Well-
there's two type of nebulas though. But go ahead, Michelle.
Well, yeah.
I am one of those who lets my fingers do the walking and going through parts of a technical manual.
Mhm.
An accommodation of 750 officers and crew, 130 visiting personnel, and a personal evacuation limit of 9,800. So, 750 officers and crew and 130 visiting personnel. How
Mhm.
many would you want to bring family? Because then if you have visiting personnel coming and
Yeah.
going, and that many officers and crew, that doesn't really have a whole lot for a family to come along unless you're some of the senior officers. Or there's a reason you need to have your family come along.
Yeah, it was supposed to be F1. Daniel, all those shifted. I think the game's over, buddy. Well, the thing is, I think it was just something he created, and so it was a checkerboard, and if you move the board incorrectly, it moves all the pieces. So we tried. But anyways, going back to the Nebula class, there are two different types. There's the one with the torpedo pod, which seems more like a military-style vessel. More designed for combat, more just, patrols maybe. Then you got the science vessel, like you were saying a few minutes ago, about long-term exploration, not long-term exploration, but long-term science projects, discovering nebulas, exploring them, things like that. Personally, I think the science version would probably be better suited for families, but like Michelle was saying, it's a 9,000 max capacity. But those ships don't run at max capacity. And she said, what, 132 crew?
750 crew and officers with 130 visiting personnel.
So that's what, roughly about 800. So not even a tenth of its max capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you figure if you're doing an evacuation, you're using every available millimeter of space to put people.
Yeah.
To the nearest star base, rendezvousing with the next largest ship or medical ship for that matter.
Yeah.
So it does have some room, but I don't know. I mean, maybe the science vessel would be a good family vessel, but again, it's not really designed for that. But the Star Trek would have us believe, that the Galaxy class was a family-friendly vessel.
Yeah, and not really, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a ship out there that's family?
Well, remember, the Saratoga had Cisco, Jake, and his wife.
Yeah.
We saw that. They make them stand in the landing base.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stand in a landing bay, just saying.
No.
No, thank you. Oh, here we go. No, you can't have that comment. No crossovers, Brett. I already established this earlier. You have a torpedo room to clean, sir.
Besides, the Nebula class has 2 torpedo bays. Get on it, sir.
I like how, was it 6 degrees to torpedo bay? What was the original meme joke? 6 degrees to bacon?
Yeah.
You can tie anything within 6.
So, as Brett will agree, probably, this has been, 3 years now or so that we've been back and forth about torpedo bays and him. And it's just been a long-standing running joke, which highly amuses me. Keeps him smiling and on his toes. Excuse you, sir. Request is not denied. Do not make me go over your head to your CIC in your house.
Which one?
His wife.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
protect you, Brett. Sorry. I might stand up to Steve, but I ain't standing up to your missus. I like living.
I bet you do. Most men do.
Yeah. See,
Yes,
Brett.
Brett, it is our tangent.
but you're slacking. Get back on it.
But I'll listen to you, chief over there. Not you, chief. You're big boss.
Good man. About
Yeah.
time you listen.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So he says it twice.
Because he's trying to get it together. I don't know.
I mean, he can't type, remember?
If he's, easy now.
Hey, Brett, this is a family-friendly show. We can't have that kind of language on here.
He just
And
saying
yet-
money
and yet
signs,
here I am.
asterisk and.
I'm just.
Oh, I know.
We're just messing with Brett. We know the truth.
We have to mess with him.
Poor Brett. Or not rescue, but poor Brett.
Hey,
Only 2 photon torpedo launchers. That's kind of, I don't know.
is that for the science one?
Well, this is in general. So this one, per the technical manual out of DS9, this is an Explorer class. Told you, I let my fingers do the walking and look up the most detailed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the words I use with my husband, Brett, yes, dear.
Michelle understands what Brett says now. All right, so
the odd thing in this and the frustrating thing with Star Trek is we have a Nebula class. Great. But yet they decide it's going to be a science class. It's going to be a cruiser class. Well, make up your ever-loving mind, because you can't have it both ways.
well,
like
they did
Evan
that in
loving
Miranda.
mine.
They did that in the Miranda though too. You have variations of the Miranda class. Yeah, the Saratoga, which did not have that little roll bar cage on top.
Mm-hmm.
You had the roll bar cage one. Then you also had the Soyuz class that had all the ridiculous cannons on it.
It's like almost have more cowbell.
I know, right?
Always more cowbell.
In some
right.
cases, not so much.
Scott, we're not exactly to the questions part yet, but we'll get back to you there. We'll
And
get
after
to your
questions.
Oh, we have
Out of all of us, Scott's the one on track here. Just saying.
He loves
bringing
talking
up,
about ships.
he's bringing up the Akira. Scott, if you love talking about ships, you should come on.
He said he told me he's not going to tonight.
I will send him the link, and if he doesn't want to come on, that's on him, not on us.
Brett, there is coffee in that nebula because I've already had
Wait,
it today.
we're supposed to wait. That's a question.
No. See, we're not answering questions right now. We're finishing.
Yeah.
Because if we start answering questions, we're not going to be done with this topic for a couple hours.
Are we doing a 4-hour lesson?
It's either that or apparently an officer needs to herd the other stars to go along. Just saying.
Brett says yes. Okay. Well, guys, I think we kind of touched base with what we can on this particular topic. The Nebula is too big. In my opinion, the Nebula was their attempt at the next generation of the Miranda class.
So,
multi-purpose starship that can be easily changeable.
So, people, if you want to know more about the Miranda class, and there's way more you can go down the rabbit hole with this, honest to God.
Yeah.
You can, because as you go further on, issue 154, Star Trek Communicator, has an overview and a cross section that talk about it. and the 8 X-type phaser arrays and 3 torpedo launchers out of it. You have your video games that touch on it between Star Trek Armada, Armada 2, Star Trek Bridge Commander, and it goes on from there. So you could pick apart and have conversations and decide which one is your favorite version of this, or you rather have this over that ship.
I don't know. If we're talking about favorite ships and having the best, I love my Moorhead, but I would probably choose the Arbiter class. It's a Star Trek Online ship. It's a battle cruiser.
What a nerd! I mean,
what a nerd! That you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jenny. I feel so loved now.
Good.
Should we move into general questions now?
Yeah, we should ask general questions now.
Not ask. We already have a couple of ask questions.
No, I think we should join.
Scott's question is: if you can make an Akira, if you can make a Akira class a carrier, could you in theory do that with the Nebula? I don't know. What do you think, Michelle? You think they could gut it out and make it a carrier?
What all are you going to rip out and retrofit?
That is a good point.
What are you going to add to it?
Because you think you might want to keep the long-range torpedoes.
You'd have to and add more.
Yeah.
And then are you going to have, are you going to keep your flight bay and your shuttles? And what kind of shuttles are you going to make be more armament?
You know, there was this, that is an interesting idea because there was this thing, I forgot what it was called. It was a few years ago. There was this group that was trying to create a realistic version of the Enterprise D and what it would look like. And one of the things that they proposed, according to the blueprints, is there's actually more space in the shuttle bay than it's actually used. And depending on the mission, you could actually put more shuttles in it. Maybe you could do the same with Nebula.
You know, then again, you have to look at, does that fall into, yet again, what is the emergency capacity?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, depending, you know, if you only look at episodes that from TNG, what kind of shit were they always hauling? Something always funky, different.
Yeah.
Larger than needed to be. Complex microorganisms in containers. To who? Ulrich of Vault. You know the episode I'm thinking about when they're, you know, she's bred and born to be a diplomat's wife. I'll look it up later.
All right, so I want to share something real quick. Speaking of the Enterprise D virtual tour, I'm not going to share the audio, but you guys can kind of get a hint at it here. I'm going to fast forward through some of this because it is 12 minutes long.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
So this is obviously the inside of a shuttle. You know, that you're coming into the ship.
Okay.
But somebody actually did this, a deck-by-deck thing, and you could actually download it, or you could at the time. But here's the idea behind the shuttle bay. That's why I was mentioning it. If you look at this, this is the main shuttle bay.
So if you pause a second, and if you think about your shuttle bays, again, we're only seeing model size. How big would have a shuttle been? How much room do you need to turn and maneuver? I drive school bus. I have a 40-foot school bus with a 2 to 3 foot tail swing. I need a larger area than you think to maneuver. So how big are these shuttlecraft that you have to have this large a space to maneuver shuttlecraft?
Like I said, I was wondering, though, because if this is to be believed, because it's based on the blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, I mean, he goes further into this. Let me show more.
Sorry, this driving large equipment, this is what gave me the thought to...
Yeah.
But that's why there's this much space.
Yeah. So then, you know, you see this here, and the guy is obviously walking around. You see
a main elevator. Yeah. So this deck drops down?
Yep. There are other videos of this, but this is just one of them. And, you know, you walk to the different areas. I'm fast-forwarding a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find other shots. Okay, here we go. Like, look at all these shuttles in their bays.
So when you think, say, like airplanes, you know how they can deliver them in and out of their gate? There's usually a little trolley on the front kind of deal. Is there something similar to this of a mag lift?
I think that's it right here. There's something right here.
Elevator. So
elevator.
Okay. But like I said, this is based on the blueprints, and obviously some creative liberties are taken.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can go.
Pretty cool, though.
So here's you actually leaving the bay, and the first thing you come to is a little not 10-4, like a little crew lounge when you get done with your flight. You know.
And overlook the cargo bay.
Yeah. Or the shuttle bay. There's more, and there's obviously a lot of interior shots too. Fast forwarding. I keep fast forwarding. Okay, we're going through more of the interiors. So this ship had a lot of interior space. Here's another. This one's called 2 forward. 2 forward.
2 forward.
Yeah.
Because we're not on second floor. We're on deck 2 or deck 4. I saw.
So you can kind of see, though. I mean, if the nebula is set up similar, I guess maybe. Okay, now we're going to the bridge. All right. And so this is the backside of the bridge that you never get to see, you know, walking in. Okay, we're with the we're familiar with this conference room. We've seen it on TV.
No, never.
But it's not the only conference room they have.
Yeah.
So they actually have 2 of them up here.
So, that's awesome. The different variations of Enterprise.
Yeah. Nice.
And then we're going off onto the bridge now.
Just don't put your butt on the console. Just saying.
All right, so I actually like this. Remember how we were talking about space toilets?
The head.
They actually have one. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Well, that answers the question.
Yep.
Yeah, so, you know, it's on the blueprint.
So is that near the lift? Is that near one of the lifts?
Turbo lifts?
Yeah. And there are other variants of this bridge, too, that you can install and install. But yeah, so this is just, here's the ready room. Picard's famous ready room.
Somebody has way too much free time.
It's a group. It's a collective group.
But still really neat. Like, that's really cool.
But unfortunately now it's they discontinued the project.
Oh.
But I remember I was there and I watched it and I was like really excited for it. All right, so Scott, does that answer your question? I mean, maybe. I mean, it depends on how much work you'd want to strip out of the nebula. And if it has a similar design to the galaxies, I mean, if it's shuttle bay, the main shuttle bay is just as big as the galaxies, yes, it could possibly do that, but you would be sacrificing shuttles for fighters. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because shuttles also act as a lifeboat during times of evacuation.
I guess it just depends on who is in charge of that part of the fleet, what they need you to be doing.
I'm glad to hear it, Scott. So Scott says it does. All right, so Brett's question is, the bigger question is there coffee on the nebula? You already answered that. So anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, any questions?
Yes, there is coffee in that nebula. I've had the coffee. And since it's Janeway's birthday, I'm certain she's drank Kahlua today, too.
Nice.
Coffee's disgusting. But anyways.
Just because you don't run out of coffee.
When I see you next time, we're getting Starbucks together.
Oh, I get Starbucks. I just don't get Starbucks coffee. I just get their frappuccinos with no coffee in it.
I don't know if the Vice Admiral's human or not. Sorry.
Am I human?
Vice Admiral.
Vice Admiral.
That's who I am.
That's him. I'm
no,
real
not
Admiral.
you.
I'm real.
Okay, excuse me. The Rear Admiral, the number 2. I don't know if she's She don't do coffee. She thinks coffee's disgusting. She ain't right. I know.
It's disgusting.
She don't do coffee.
It's
The rest
bitter,
of
it
the
smells
rest of the
disgusting.
entire fleet runs on coffee.
She runs on this.
She runs on Dr. Pepper.
Ain't right.
Ain't right.
What? Whoa, no. You did not just go there.
I am born and raised Texan. I love my Dr. Pepper and my Bluebell.
I'm gonna stay up here. I like my North Country. Thank you very much.
But I'm a born and raised Texan, but I do not like spicy food.
I don't.
I like
spicy
flavor. I love flavor. Just don't kill me with spice.
So, anybody else have any other questions?
Any more questions?
We got 5 viewers. Particularly, somebody must have a question.
Come on, 5. This gotta be Ishin questions.
Anything. It doesn't have to be truck related. I'll throw that out there.
Yesterday, I asked in the in Steve's podcast, does he like moist cookies?
What is up with good moist?
There's something about that.
I love the word moist.
Why?
Okay.
I don't know, but I love them. Just saying moist is fun. Maybe it's partly because a lot of people hate that word. And so it brings me pleasure when I see people going, ew.
No, it just
I
sounds
like the word
dirty.
moist.
It sounds dirty.
Yeah, and that's their problem.
Yep. If you put something else with it, yes, it's very dirty.
Hell with y'all. Rico and I are going to get a good single malt.
Yes, Chief Rico. If you want to get on the good side of the chief, you bring good coffee and good scotch. Just saying.
Put them
yes,
together.
not together all the time, but one in one hand and one in the other.
There you go.
Scotch. Well, I never had scotch. I had whiskey for the first time.
How was it?
Now, what kind of whiskey did you have?
Okay, it was a old fashioned that I had with.
Oh, you should try Fireball.
Oh, that is What? Fireball ain't right.
Yeah, it is.
My cousin
Fireball
loves
ain't
Fireball.
Right.
But I had
for a lot
I
of
had
women,
three-
it's easier to drink.
I had
I
3
just
cocktails
cannot
together.
do Fireball. That just. Ugh.
Mm.
No, thank you. Pendleton, Redneck Riviera. I can sit and sip Pendleton.
Okay.
I helped kill a couple bottles of Pendleton. That's not a story for another night.
See what happens when you get a bunch of vets together with a stack of Pendleton and other booze.
I know. I went through 2 bottles of Pendleton that night.
Nice. I don't know what the hell else I was drinking.
Now,
I've never been drunk in my life. We discussed this already, but never been drunk in my life.
We can fix
warn
that.
you. I'll warn you, Jenny. If you ever get stuck in a room with vets and they've been drinking, you're gonna hear a lot of stories. A lot of stories.
Now to be fair and to be honest, I have. That's where we went through 2 bottles of Pendleton. And Jay makes it sound all lewd and like it's bad hearing stories. It's quite interesting when you get all branches of service across Pick a War, and you'll find threads of why there's a brotherhood. And it's not all bad. It could be quite comical. Some of y'all made bad choices.
I followed TikTok.
That is the whole idea.
A few of the times it was,
All right.
got no choice.
All right, that's it. Mike, now you get to listen.
Uh-oh.
The chief has not been hearing any of this. I've been here about it the entire time, and he's peanut gallerying. He can listen in.
Okay, so what I was just saying is there's no such thing as a bad time or bad story when you're in the military. It's just a great story. I was in the Marine Corps myself.
I'll give you some crayons to sit the fuck down.
There's no bad stories.
Near the 11th Cav Army, be prepared. He talks badly to Marines.
That's okay.
Feel free to give him shit back.
Wouldn't anyway.
No, we have this thing called honor and integrity. It's not our thing. We like to drink hard and party hard.
Ain't that the truth?
Hey, I made
Like almost any military branch likes to drink and party hard.
Marines mostly. You're going to find the Air Force likes their stuff a little more refined.
Well, if you think about it from a Marine's perspective, everything is about discipline and honor. So when you're done with your day, you're really messed up in the head, and all you want to do is drink and have a good time. You don't want to think about work. You don't want to think about everything that you did that day. you want to bury most of it. And my unit, what we did is that we had something called WTI, Weapon Tactical Instructors Course, and we hosted that twice a year. And so what it is urban warfare training, cold weather training, and desert training. And so our unit would go out. I was a distribution NCO. I was the kind of guy that would drive out to the truck, like, get your shit off my truck. I'm leaving in 5 minutes without your shit on it,
Wanting of 5 minutes. Let's get your shit off the truck. We gotta go.
I know, right? It's like, I have a 3-ton truck, and it's like, I will unload your shit. I'll just go fast and slam on the brakes and go fast again.
That's called let me help you.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but yeah, so WTI was the only time where it was really stressful. I mean, I make it a joke about it, but a lot of times you'd go out there, you try to find these units, it'd be dark, then as soon as you approach their position, they would be in full training and they'd have their guns pointed at you. Like, dude, it's like, okay, if you want me to come back, I'll come back tomorrow. It's like, I don't give a shit when if I'm interrupting your war game. It's like, get your shit, get off my truck. Well, I always seem to find the right time to come in too. Right in the middle of an exercise. Because
time for it.
That's when you want CS canisters out.
Actually,
a few times.
Yeah, urban warfare trainings where we did a lot of those. And I hated doing urban warfare training. You get regassed every year. You start off in the first room, Michelle, and you get hit with gas. And then you have to put on your mask, and then you have to do it in an amount of time because you have a guerrilla unit coming at you from the other end. And you don't know where they're coming every single time. And you have to do the course.
Oh, goddamn, Op Ford NTC. Quit your bitching.
I was a supply grunt, okay?
Oh, what were you again?
Training once a year.
Hi, Sergeant.
Supply grunt.
Right.
Actually, back in my day, though, I spent more time flying and actually checking out people's requests because we didn't trust the internet back in those days from 97 to 2001. We had the internet.
You had internet?
Who trusted it, like you said?
Well, we were still using a DOS program.
Well, so
actually,
safer then.
No. Honestly, there are still organizations, like when I worked for the state of Oregon, we were still using a DOS-based program for because it was safer than actually having Oracle, which was what the military switched to after about 2000.
I know.
So Oracle, we switched over, and yeah, that was a logistical nightmare. And then the state of Oregon tried to switch over. I used to be a case manager with DHS, Department of Human Services, not Homeland Service.
I still use DOS-based programming at work.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Good times.
That's my work.
Yeah. Why? Because it's more secure. Because nobody wants to
knows technology anymore, unless you're a programmer.
Like, it's not bad. It just gets really annoying because why do we have these fancy computers that's touchscreen when we can't touchscreen any of the buttons? Because it's DOS-based and DOS keybinds.
You have a touchscreen computer?
We have a touchscreen computer, but we have to use our, keybinds because it's all, E for exit or A for arrivals and all that stuff.
And you can't bring an online or an on-screen keyboard to do it?
No, it's a regular keyboard. We just have a fancy touchscreen.
Which federal agency do you work for?
What did he say?
What federal agency do you work for?
I don't. I work for a hotel.
She's in the hospitality field.
I'm in hospitality.
Most hotels still use those stupid DOS proprietary programs. I know of a few call centers, depending on who they're servicing, still do.
Yeah.
And that was what 2000. Oh, when the hell was that? 2003, 2004.
Wow.
Even then, so I had to think. It's been a little while.
Yeah. I don't think we have any questions, guys. I think we're almost ready to wrap up.
Yeah, I overlapped him by a couple of years on either side.
Mm-hmm.
When were you in the service?
12 years total.
Oh, okay.
From 93 to 03. And then 2 years in the Guard. Got out in 5.
I only did 4. I honestly thought about re-enlisting, but I was trying to save my marriage, and that was a mistake.
Oh, mine went ticked up before I even got out, and it finally broke after I got out.
Germany was the
yeah.
2 tours in Germany didn't save their marriage.
Oh. Well, I didn't realize at the time my first wife, I didn't know she was bipolar, but I also didn't know that she likes being married, but she doesn't like her man home. No. She's married to. No, Jenny. I mean that nicely. I mean she's married.
Okay, it's just
she's married to a truck driver, and she likes her husband being home. And then when she gets annoyed with him, she likes to send him on the road. You know
what? Sometimes
I'm Chief Rico's second wife. I did not get the fun perks while he was in service. I get to deal with the VA.
Hey, at least he gets free health insurance, right? I do, but there's only 2 places I can go.
So we are lucky here in Montana. Montana's VA system is a little better than most places.
Mm-hmm.
With his current rating, yes, they take care of him. However, his priority level is not as high as it used to be, and they still won't take care of him for dental. The only reason they're going to has to do with medication. And for the last 5 years that he's been going to college, they owed him dental, and they're just now going to take care of it.
Wow. Yeah, so for you guys who don't know, most service members can get VA benefits and free health care if they meet certain criteria.
Service connected being one, unless you somehow separate it out enough that you get to use TRICARE.
Yeah.
And good luck finding places around to be able to use TRICARE.
Now, guys, I do want to say for anybody who thinks that, he has free VA health insurance, why is he bitching? Yeah.
I have heard stories. So
when I came home, do you guys know what climatic sickness is?
You kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
So when you get climatic sickness, you get bleeding in the ears and bleeding in the nose.
Yeah.
And it's a shift in the body change. So I come from a desert to come back up here to Oregon. And where it's beautiful. And so then they give you these nasty sulfur-like pills. But literally, I was in their ER for 6 hours before my first wife, and I was separated from her. She finally went out there and started bitching. She's like, it's been 6 hours. You guys need to get off your asses and do something. Tired of him bleeding on me. Yeah, I wasn't like a constant bleed, but it was like bleeding enough, and it was painful, and I was having like light flashes. It was not fun time.
What time did the other places did you go off on something like that?
Well, I went from like 110-degree weather to 30-degree weather.
No, I'll let Chief Rico speak here a second.
Yeah,
because of everything with mine and a few of still undiagnosed injuries and etc. Yeah, she got to do that several times.
Yeah, no. The reason I also have is because I did have orthoscopic knee surgery on my right knee, so I get insurance because of that. Even though I'm at a 0% disability,
you still got it rated. That's the difference.
Yeah, it only can go up, but I'm not really that concerned about it, honestly.
Right now, get it done.
Yeah,
because it's gonna get worse.
We could do a whole nother
story on that.
Well, we will answer your VA questions and give you the real dirty scoop that they don't tell you.
So Brett says, "Daughter, get your service-connected shit taken care of." Oh,
no, his daughter served. She got out because she does have service-connected problems. She's getting her service-connected shit taken care of, is what he's saying.
Okay.
I mean, I've had this conversation, so I can kind of read Brentese. I can translate Brett real well. The thing about the VA, honestly, if you have a spouse who can advocate for you, if you don't, find someone who will advocate for you and go to every medical visit and when the veteran is talking about their issue and the doctor is in ear one out the other, that's when you as the advocate gets to let down the band hammer. Because I made myself almost persona non grata with the chief ortho surgeon up at Fort Harrison.
Wow.
He retired from the VA system.
The other one I like from the VA is like when they tell you, hey, I'm Dr. So-and-so. I'm like, who cares? Because in 2 years when I come back.
You're going to be here for 5 minutes. We'll see you down the road. Literally, my husband's been through 4 doctors.
Yeah.
5 doctors in the 12 years we've been married. 14 together.
Well, I like when they tell you that they're going to be your doctor.
Here's the problem. You get a doctor who actually knows what they're doing, knows their shit, wants to do the right thing. In 6 months, when you're supposed to go back and see them, they've already sent them to another VA facility.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have you doing too good up here. We got to send you elsewhere. That shit chaps my ass.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
So I like actually having my private insurance better because, 1, I have more places to go, and 2, I don't have to wait in a long-ass line.
You're lucky you have private insurance. Good for you.
Well, yeah. It's not cheap.
Conditions are such that I can't get it anymore.
Oh. What is Brian saying here? Got to go.
I think battery's going dead.
His battery's going dead. He's got to go.
But us ladies, I guess we can cipher things better than guys can.
I don't speak in code.
I read Taiwanese really well.
I understand sign language.
Right here.
There you go.
I know sentence language.
Don't forget the 1-finger salute.
Oh, you're number 1.
You already got it. Coming from this direction.
That'll be another history lesson another time. We'll talk about the Bowman salute.
Jenny, I think we need to make a trip to Montana. After the outbreak.
So we can
I don't want to go to Montana.
How dare you? Everybody wants to go to Montana.
Boring. I really don't want to go to Oregon. I just have 2 friends in Oregon that I want to go visit. So
thank you.
And I'm the one who doesn't really like to leave Montana that much. I leave, but I like to come home.
So where are you from then?
She's down in Texas.
In Texas.
We're at in Texas again?
North Dallas area.
North of Metro.
Yeah. I heard that.
Anybody's got a pig? Got an area to shoot pigs?
Ooh, javelina hunting. We want to go hunting.
My uncle goes hunting all the time, and we bring some elk home.
Well, I enjoy my elk hunting up here. Deer, elk, antelope, bighorn sheep, moose. Yes, Brett, we know you have a PhD in Taiwanese.
I do too.
And I have a PhD in that and a PhD in transdimensional engineering.
Wow, you guys are.
I have a PhD in horribleness.
No,
Name that movie.
So the PhD in transdimensional engineering is playing Tetris to Pac.
Okay, I have a question.
I'm good at that.
Why did you think Sonic was a good movie, Jenny?
What?
It's enjoyable.
No, it was not.
I enjoyed it.
Go ahead.
What is this?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I just enjoyed it. It wasn't that terrible. But I'm also a person who enjoys a lot of movies when people hate them. So I enjoy watching watching motion picture. I like that.
You talk about Star Trek motion picture?
Mm-hmm. Star Trek motion picture. But I do not like watching Star Trek 5. I enjoy watching movies that people don't really enjoy. But I think it wasn't like, oh my gosh, amazing, you should go watch this again. But it was enjoyable to me. It had the moments.
Watch it one more time. One more time, and that's the last time I'm going to watch it.
I did want to crave Olive Garden several times after I watched that.
Did you watch all the trailers?
Why?
Because
Have
they
you-
needed to make money, so they have all these placement plugs. Have you seen Have you seen the movie?
Sonic.
Have you seen Sonic? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because there's an Honest Trailers, and they actually talk about it, how they were running low on money and they needed to reshoot a lot of the scenes. So
Right.
they ended up getting like a bunch of sponsors at the last second, and then they plugged it into the movie.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
But
No,
they
no,
did it
seriously.
in a one of the Olive Garden. They did it in a tasteful way. It was
Yes, we
funny how they did it.
Yes, we the government would like to give you a special treat,
Special
and then it's a $50 Olive Garden.
for saving the world.
Yeah,
For
saving the world.
Oh, for saving the world and not telling anybody about Sonic.
No, not Sonic. About the evil
Oh,
the
evil
government
alien.
official.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that the damn one with Jim Carrey in it?
Yes.
No.
So Jenny here is telling me it was a good movie. I bought it so I could torture my kids, and now I did. Nathaniel, did I not torture you yesterday with Sonic?
You bribe them.
Yes. Yes, I absolutely did.
Bribe, torture.
I bribed them so I could
Tomato,
torture them.
tomato.
Jenny, are you understanding this? You bribe your children to torture your children.
No. There's no bribing involved.
No,
You just torture them.
Get the prize.
Well, I'm not cruel, okay? I'm not heartless.
Yeah, he is.
Why the hell not? That's what Dad's supposed to do.
Listen, my son. He's like, yeah, you are. You're heartless, Dad. So next time I'll pick a horrible movie we can all watch, and you won't get a prize.
Oh God.
Horrible movie.
Huh?
Blazing Saddles.
History of the world.
Oh my.
No, Blazing Saddles is bad too.
No, I don't like Blazing Saddles. So
Ah,
The hell's
it's a
wrong with you?
classic.
So we end up watching this movie. So Nathaniel gets a new Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but not like he doesn't have enough Yu-Gi-Oh cards already.
No, I need 75 more. No.
Those are all of his boxes, and they're
Okay.
full.
I don't have room to complain. I have every single deck of Cards Against Humanity, so
That's a fun game.
that's a fun game.
oh,
Especially when people start drinking. It's really fun.
oh, so no shit. There we were sitting in Valhalla Meadery here in Bozeman,
Mhm.
and we decided, well, we didn't want to go to the usual haunt. Let's go to the Meadery. And I get there first, pick out our table. Oh, look, they have games. Well, what kind of games they got? They have the original box of Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, nice.
So there was six of us, and as we sat down and ordered our drinks and ordered food and got started, you do have to add in your ghost chair. Your ghost chair is just whatever card you draw. That's what they play.
Oh, rando. We call them randos.
Miranda. We call him Sven. And we learned about this from our hostess when she said when they play they call theirs Jorge. So since we were at Valhalla, Sven. So Sven gets to draw. 3 hours later, we closed the meadery and played through the entire white card deck.
Wow. So Brett wants
And
to comment.
we were pretty lit.
Yeah,
Yes,
Brett wants
and
to
you know,
comment.
Brett.
And then Scott agreed with him. Yeah, Mel Brooks is not horrible.
No.
He's
I guess-
comically funny.
I guess your kids have to be of a certain age to start them, allegedly.
No.
The boy's not even 9 yet.
The boy's not quite old enough to appreciate.
And the
it.
girl don't understand yet.
Nope.
Silent movie, the only spoken like wow. Okay.
Oh, if you want to torture them, make them watch a silent movie where they have to read.
Oh god, yeah.
Well,
No,
we just turn the volume on. We need to mute the TV and put on subtitles.
There's only one movie in my history that I've ever actually walked out of the studio. It was when I was in the Marine Corps. Walked out of the studio, and it was a free movie, and left. It was Dudley Do Rights. Remember that Canadian?
He walked out of the do right. Which
That
one
was
did
a god awful movie.
Mr. Rhodes was the TV show. Yeah.
Dudley Do Right was based on the TV show.
We weren't. There was no walking out. We just stood up and we because they attempted to stop us, and we no.
I've never walked out of a movie.
Oh no, this was my platoon as a unit morale fundraiser, whatever the hell, something cool. We go from up in the desert, we go down to Hollywood to watch them, film this TV show. Okay, this is kind of cool, kind of interesting. You got the hell out of the desert for a couple hours. They kept going over scenes and screwing them up, and it's starting to get towards like 11:30, 300 or at least. And like, no, you got to stay. And we're like, no, we're not done. No, you have to stay. Our E7 went. Are you telling a unit in the U.S. military that they are being held against their will? You have to understand that this time, our sergeant first class was one of the first females to have been a tank mechanic. She came into the Army in the early 70s or so. And yeah, she'd been a drill and all the rest. And it was just, all right, armor platoon, stand up. You see all the dependents step towards the back, and we're like, you can either get out of our way, or we're leaving, or we're going to go over you. Your choice.
Wow.
And you got 50, 60 guys going, yeah, we're out of here.
Wow.
If you ever got smart enough to get, think about it. What would happen? Yeah, somebody tells them, a bunch of friggin' grunts that they can't, the Marine grunts. No, you're stuck here. How quick would they have started destroying things?
Now, see, RCO, we didn't do anything like that. RCO just did a canoe caravan on the Colorado River. So we had one canoe full of beer and ice. And then everybody else was canoeing down there.
So we call that a booze cruise?
It is. It's exactly what it is.
Except you come up here, we'll float the Madison in inner tubes and do a booze cruise.
No, they really didn't trust us with booze on company events for a while. Of course,
I can't imagine why. Military members not trusted with booze.
And this was in the good old days too, when when it was flip a weekend as to whether or not Tijuana was off limits or on limits.
Hey, I was still in the service when you could drink at 18.
I was in when they didn't care.
Yeah. Okay, so Brett's saying I refuse to watch anything with, I don't even know who that is.
So for the uneducated, Hanoi Jane Fonda.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
My husband uses the C word.
Hmm.
She was a propaganda tool for the Viet Cong. There's all sorts of things you can Google Jane Fonda, Google Hanoi Jane.
Okay.
They paraded a bunch of POWs, and they were attempting to slip her, like, I'm alive, let people know, here's something about me. And she more or less outed those POWs to the Viet Cong because they paraded them out like, we're taking care of them. And
been shot for treason, but because of what it was Vietnam and all the policy, there's a whole lot of.
So you ask any Vietnam vet how they feel about Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Hence the comment Hanoi. There you go.
Almost as much as I can't stand Clinton. Because that fucking.
Oh, don't get me started with Clinton.
Yeah, we both had the word being in Clinton's military. Yeah, that.
Well, because okay, I'll give you a little taste. One unit we had 93 Marines, and they were given $2,000 for 6 weeks, not 16, for 6 weeks to survive on. That was it, $2,000. We were having to call other units, come up with money, try to figure out a way to help them. My unit, we didn't have a spending limit because we hosted the event, but it was brutal because I would. These are Marines that are supposed to be trained for desert, urban, or cold weather, and they're only given $2,000 for their budget, for allocated budget for training.
Well, when they first was in it, it was the whole demasculinization of the military.
Yeah,
and where you could get if you got and dealing with the Balkans, and if they got a picture of you without your helmet on, now it's 15.
Now, a lot of people don't. Okay, so I usually don't like to talk about 9/11, but do you guys you guys remember 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? Do you know why they sent the National Guard and not the Marine Corps, not the Army? Why they sent the National Guard? Because they were better trained than both of our two units combined. I'm not talking about the special forces. I'm just talking about in general.
In general,
the National Guard was better trained because their money came directly from the state treasury, not the national treasury, under the Clinton administration.
Yeah.
Where would the,
so for 9/11, what unit? You're talking National Guard sent where?
Overseas. When it first came out and the news was breaking, they were talking about this National Guard unit was going overseas. This National Guard unit is going overseas. That's all they were advertising. Yeah, there were some Army units that are going to back up, but most of the units that were going were actually going over into the frontline zone. So they were better trained than the Marine Corps was. They were better trained than a lot of the Army units.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna
did the training. I'm
gonna let Chief Rico here talk because he was already stationed in Germany during 9/11.
Well, that's different. Germany is a front wave.
Yeah.
Just like in the Marine Corps, everybody in Okinawa is the first wave.
Yeah.
You have your people on the ships, then your first wave is on Okinawa for the Marines, and then you have your stateside people. Now, I know in the Army that it's Germany and there's one other place. Is it Africa, the other one?
No,
it's another country. It's Germany and another country. I remember that.
So you got USRA first for that area.
Yeah.
So that's all of Europe. Germany primarily, but you got Italy. You had at the time we had Kuwait. You had the base in Kuwait. You had the bases Germany, bases in England, Netherlands, Belgium. You had them stationed in Kuwait, Saudi to prep up and roll. Then you had the rapid deployment forces, as it was. So you lined all that up, shot it out. From that, they activated Roboros coming across for some of the Guard units, but a lot more of it shooting across from ready units off of active bases.
Yeah.
Shoot across small detachments. Then, they shot off somebody got smart and realized, oh, wait a minute, 10th Mountain, to the shithole for the mountainous area. That's what they do. Shoot them first. It was brilliant. Finally. It took them a couple more years to go, hey, wait a minute, let's reactivate put the 11th into an active combat status and send them off since, these guys are used to dealing with deserts. What do you know?
But also, I'm telling you right now, man, it's like I looked at the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And there were a lot of National Guard units going. But my unit, actually, they dissolved and they turned into a company and they went over to Kuwait. My particular unit did. So because of that, we actually have an alumni Facebook page now. My unit no longer exists. But with that aside, the National Guard, though, was the major key player. I'm not saying that the Army didn't step in later. They did.
You had to activate the units you needed to fill out for the unit. You activated
and they were better trained, sadly.
May not have been better trained, just better equipped.
That too. I mean, I like, because when we did cold weather training, I always chose to be the guy that went out a week earlier because they put me up in the nice warm barracks while the rest of the unit had to go and suffer in the cold. and it was nice because I could order something and I would have it FedEx overnight. If I order, in the military, if you order something, you'll be lucky if you get it within a month.
Depends on how close it is to the end of the fiscal year.
Well, that's a difference. That's a different scenario. We're talking about WTI. If you order something, you need to order it at least a month in advance.
Marines.
Yeah. And so we would order extra Class 9 motor parts for the different units, and we'd have to try to forecast, okay, well, they're taking so many vehicles. We know we're going to probably need this many. We would base it on the previous WTI and how they did. And that's something my unit would do. Then, of course, we would charge those units for those parts. And that's when we talked about earlier about the $2,000 for one unit. It's like that didn't even cover their food cost under the Clintons. We literally had to find money from other units to forward over to their account to try to help them. And it sucked. Yeah, it sucked because our unit couldn't help them. Well, no, because we were the instructors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow us to help. but they would send somebody like me. I would go over there. I'd meet with their, I'd meet with the CEO. Then I'd go meet with the OIC, and then we would go around to the different units and talk to them, explain the situation. That was fun. That was the only cool thing about being an NCO and being a distribution NCO, is I got to have a lot of great dinners with officers. But it also sucked at the same time. Yes, sir. No, sir.
3 bags full.
What's that?
3 bags full, sir.
Well, they treated you really nice. Well, they treated me really nicely, but at the same time, I still had to follow military protocol. After a while, you get used to it, and I hated eating with officers after a while. But of course, yeah. Anyways,
were you set at what, down at 29 Palms, or where they have you based out of?
Yuma, Arizona.
Oh, okay. Jesus, no wonder.
Yeah. So what made Yuma an ideal place is the YPG Proving Grounds with the Army base there. Was where the Urban Warfare Training Center is. And then the National Guard has the cold weather training facility up in Flagstaff, which we worked with them. And then, of course, at Yuma, besides being an air wing unit, there was also a ground unit, which is my unit. And we did all the desert training.
Yeah.
So we would have the units come in, we'd check them in on base, and then we would send them out to their determined locations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, yeah.
Like I said, I was at NTC, so Fort Irwin.
Yeah.
Head out to the Mojave Desert, keep going until things really suck, and take a left.
Yeah. Jenny, you still there?
I'm still here.
I've already welcomed her back and everything.
I know, but then she was like,
yeah, well, I don't know this. I'm just quietly in our talk because
So this is story time of what happens when veterans get together.
This is sober story time talking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It gets more interesting when they start drinking.
I mean, if you want to know a fun fact, I thought right when I graduated, right out of high school, that's when they start really kind of recruiting you, and they start sending you, letters in the mail and all this stuff.
Or the recruiters come talk to you, take you to lunch.
Yeah. I remember them at my cafeteria. I went to a big high school. I mean, my graduating class was 1,200.
Okay.
We discussed this before. So they would have like tables. Like, it reminded me of like when we went to convention and vending tables. They have a little vending like table up at the front of the cafeteria, and you go and talk to them. I just stare at them because I'm one of those people who think men in uniform is extra hot and sexy. So I would just stare at them while I'm eating.
The choker whites, the ice cream suit. Yeah, buddy.
Okay. Speaking of the men in uniform, the military today is not like the way me and your husband, Michelle, had our military. Because back in our day, you weren't allowed to wear your uniform on an airplane because you could potentially be a target for terrorists. Nowadays, they tell you need to wear a uniform on a plane.
That probably was before 9/11.
It was. No, remember, I was 97 to 2001.
You had to fly home.
I flew in uniform.
You flew in because of your orders.
Yeah, I flew in uniform.
They wouldn't allow us, even if we were going to a new order or transfer point.
I was in green. I was in class A.
So he flew home in his A's because he had orders due to a death in the family.
No, see, they wouldn't let us because they told us, you take your uniform, you take it in your in your go bag, and then as soon as you get to the airport, you can change into your uniform there. But they refused to actually let you, from the time that you actually got to the airport, to get onto the airplane to fly. And then they also told us we needed to wear hats because they did not want us standing out.
I could also talk to Black Fox about his time in, because he went in after we all graduated.
Yeah.
Oh no, mine was, if you were on official travel, your ass was in you were in A's. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. You're flying in A's wherever you're headed for, and that was that. Yeah,
they wouldn't let us do that.
Yeah, overseas they said try to blend in. I'm like, I'm sorry. When you have a whole lot of guys walking around and who are skinheads basically, blue jeans, or trying to look normal, it's like no. because you can pick them out right away. You can. The whole thing of you can tell somebody what country they're from by how they dress is pretty much accurate. You can tell their heritage really easily if you're not outside the U.S. It's like, yeah, no, Americans stick out really badly.
Oh, yeah.
Even worse, no matter how much they're trying to blend in, just because you will automatically start walking in, cadence and information without even realizing it.
Yeah.
You try to walk
even though I was never in the military, I was in a marching band. We had our marching band was very much more military style marching. And so I still, to this day, will step in line with somebody else, being the same, make sure I'm doing left, right, and I'll do the same pace with them. Out of habit from marching
band. You should not
band.
have told me that.
Out of marching band,
We're going to mess with Jenny at Vegas.
Oh, yeah?
Really? I do it.
Oh, the fun thing is I got told a few of the parades, I still, seeing somebody march with a limp.
Oh, jeez.
You laugh because,
I've got video of dipshit here marching with a gimp.
But I'm getting
Oh.
So our marching, we actually had to not just normal marching. We did 4 to 5, which basically means 4 steps every yard.
Yeah. Good march.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. With a marching instrument with you, I mean, I can't complain, but I can complain. Y'all have all kinds of heavy stuff. But as a girl in high school who was not very strong, my 7-minute drill, we had to stand like this for 7 minutes. That killed me as a young girl in high school.
It's entertaining to watch somebody a welder try to move who's got a tank bigger than she is. One of the troops I had in when I was in Aberdeen was going through. She was learning to weld and everything. She, by I think stretching herself out, made the minimum height of like 4'10".
Wow.
Yeah, that welding tank was bigger and heavier than her welding setup was bigger and heavier than she was. It was fucking hilarious. And she was going to be a welder on tanks.
So I guess my final parting question is what are we going to talk about next week?
Jenny, since we're not doing our weekly thing.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
I haven't decided that yet because we will be watching the Voyager thing. So, I don't know. You're the one who does this. You're the one who controls.
I am actually.
What should we talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about our normal things that we normally discuss. We'll bring up a shift of the week. We'll have general questions.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as next week's topic, I will think of something. Usually I'd like to try to plug in what's going on in today's society in some way, or especially like that one week when we had nothing to discuss and it was bugging me. I decided to talk about it, which was the whole idea of self-censorship and how much it sucks and people need to stop. I could bring that up next week because that particular group I was talking about, they're going on the deep end on that.
Self-censorship?
Yeah, self-censorship is basically where somebody thinks that their way is the only way, and if you don't agree with them, that they'll go ahead and block you, or they'll make your life a living hell. I guess a good way of saying it is like, for example, my cousin Crystal, love her to death, but she is a diehard right-wing Christian, and she takes a personal offense when she can't save everybody. So she hates Facebook for that reason. So then she'll try talking to you, and if you don't listen to what she says, she'll block you. Or she'll do the other side of the coin. If you say something she doesn't like, she'll block you immediately.
If you don't like something, it's called just scroll past it. That's what I do.
Or unfriend, or not unfriend, but unfollow.
Unfollow. So you're still friends with them, but just unfollow that person.
Oh yeah.
Or I do kind of self-censorship in a way, as in there's certain people on my Facebook page that are on my exception page. You know how you can say post except for this one person?
Yeah.
I have about 5 people that don't see any of my posts. And mainly it's because every post I post, everything I post something, they write a novel about whatever I'm posting. It could be about how I love bananas, or it could be anything, and they'll write a novel about it. And they will.
Wow.
So I they don't see my. I'm still friends with them. They just don't see my post.
I think that's what people are commenting about.
I've learned to. I won't call it self-censorship. I just choose not to talk.
Yeah,
and that's rightfully you can do that, absolutely. But it's when your own opinion becomes more important than anybody else's opinion.
Yeah,
and that's what's wrong. Now, the particular group I was talking about, I don't really want to discuss it next week, so I'll discuss it briefly here. Is now they're getting to the point where they're starting to micromanage and tell people what they can and can't write. I also belong to a writing group, and they don't like they decided that they don't like certain things, and now they've gotten so petty that they've tried taking over everybody's website.
Yeah, no.
So my website is personal. I pay for it. I pay for the server, and I will never join. So anybody out there that thinks that, oh yeah, when a group tells you that something, they're going to give you something for free, always be leery.
Too good to be true.
That's a general life lesson.
Well, like
everything's too good to be true. It's like
well,
this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say in this particular case, though, they give you a platform to write, and then as soon as you leave the group or as soon as you do something else, they immediately lock it out, so you can't take any of your stories with you. Except for they're too stupid to realize that your emails back everything up.
Yeah.
So it's like, really, guys, this is kind of childish and petty, but okay. But the program automatically has a backup email program that will automatically save all your entries. The only downfall is it is in an email form, and I rather they like dump it to Google Docs or something.
Well, you can just save it yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I end up doing. But it's still annoying because I spent the last few days working on that. But the one thing I did is when I didn't practice self-censorship, but I also knew the other side of that coin. Once I left that group, I left their Discord server because I didn't want to get any recoil. Yeah. And I left because they tried telling me what my group can and cannot write. I'm like, my sim is rated 8 sim. That's what we call a writing simulation, a writing group. My group is rated 18, and we don't allow children. And that doesn't mean it's a trek, a sex trek.
No, it's just
mature content.
Yes,
mature content. That you can't have maybe a sexy scene, and if you want, Yeah,
I wouldn't even call it. It doesn't even have to be erotic. It just
adult themes.
Yeah.
So,
most blood, guts, and gore are not for kids.
Yeah, true. So, and because of that, it's like, no, you're not telling me what I'm writing. I am protected. And then the cool thing about the program that I use, it also blocks from viewers. If I put an 18+ tag on it, it'll automatically screen that out. And you'd have to actually be registered on the site and have an account before you can actually read it. Otherwise, it'll say this content is not rated. This content is rated mature and not viewable. It will show that they'll show there's a post there, but it will block it. So it's a mod that you can install, and that's what I do. Because, thanks to Star Trek Discovery and thanks to Star Trek Picard, they both have mature ratings.
Mm-hmm.
There's very little sex.
And I have a friend who, let's say she's been raised a shelter life. She was raised Church of Christ. I don't know if y'all know. Church of Christ is very,
Boy, howdy do I.
Yeah, if you don't go to church, you go to hell type of thing. If you don't go to church every Sunday, or you go to hell. That was a big problem about when we do like our friends trips. Like, let's do a weekend trip. We'll go down to, San Antonio and have a little girls trip. Well, we had to be back by Sunday afternoon so she can get to church, because she would freak out. But anyways, she won't watch
San Antonio.
Yeah. Okay. So last year we went on a weekend trip to a cabin, and we decided to do a kind of like a off the grid type.
Mhm.
We kind of disconnected everything, unplugged everything. We have our phones, and we still were looking on, social media at night, like
I
for an hour.
I have a place when y'all come up here where we go. Your phone is good for being telling time and taking pictures. That's it. There's no cell service.
Nice.
Well, the cruise is like that. But it was nice that we could go to this cabin. The cabin was really cool. It was a treehouse cabin, so it was up in the trees.
Mhm.
And so what we did is we said, okay, we kept our phones with us. So we could take pictures, but we weren't allowed to look at your phone during the day. And at night, we all had an hour where we sat in the living room and we can look at our phones and do what we want for that hour. So usually what I end up doing is check my email, and then I would talk to Scott. I would, FaceTime him for a couple hours, for a few minutes, talk to him, let him know I'm okay. And then we went back to having friend time. It was a wonderful trip. But
I like girls' trips like that. I really do.
But she wanted to, but the problem is we're going to do it. We're going to come in Friday and leave Monday. So we're going to stay Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And so we told her, like, well, we can go to a church. We had no problem. We can find a church, local church we can go to. All of us had no problem going to that church. No, we can't do that. We can't do it. I was like, okay, why don't we all decide to pick a Bible lesson? Or, why can't we, let's all read the Bible. Let's talk about something in the Bible. Have a little own
Bible study group.
Bible study group. She didn't want that either.
Because you guys are out. You're in the mountains. You're already I follow my mom's philosophy to a degree. You don't need a man-made church to commune with God.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be out in the mountains, out in the prairie, pick a shelter of trees, feels like a cathedral to you, and you can take your Bible, sit out there, meditate, read the Word. Mm-hmm. You don't need somebody to interpret the Bible for you or speak from God and be the vox for God for you.
Yeah.
So the reason I was saying was this, because we were talking about mature content. She won't watch Discovery or Picard because it has mature content label to it.
Then how does she watch PG-13?
She doesn't really watch a lot of PG-13.
Well, because PG-13 is not what it was first created to what it is now is not the same.
No. Yeah. She only watches PG stuff.
Yeah.
She'll watch a few PG-13, but she has to read the reviews and see why it is. But yeah, she was raised very shelter life. I can tell you more stories, but
someone who she chooses not to have adult language said in her presence, or
that's fine.
Use it. Good for her, but she's not that sheltered.
But I have a friend at work. She doesn't swear, but she's capable of it. But she just chooses not to, and she's not religious.
So you just don't
chooses not to swear.
For years, I didn't swear until I got in the hospitality world, and I realized I need to swear.
Verb, noun, adjective.
Well, the thing about her is, like, everybody else on her team is like 6 feet tall, and she's like 5 foot. I'm like, I'd be stepping on toes and yelling at people to get their attention. A few swear words might be helpful too, and she works in a clean room all day.
Yeah, when I start dropping choice words, people get scared.
Yeah. All right, guys. So
yeah,
I think we should probably get ready to call this in because it is 3 hours and 33 minutes into this. It's only a 4-hour podcast.
And
I don't want to go for the 4 hours.
No, I got things to do.
I want to watch an episode of Bones before I go to bed. And this guy right here won't leave me alone because he can't go to bed until I turn back on his air conditioner.
Yes.
Dad?
Well, Kaylee was going to come on and watch tonight or join us, and then she decided against it. Oh, we were blowing up your phone? Oh, her friends were blowing up her phone, so she couldn't join us.
Friend, but I didn't blow up her phone because she still has her phone. I've been self-destructed.
Okay, anyways.
That's a personal problem there, son.
I know, right? So I'm thinking like
Yeah.
tonight that we're gonna call it, but it's been fun tonight. Can't wait for next week. It is gonna be a little more open format. I will message out what my ideas for the topics are for next week. But it'll probably be something that we're based on right now. Yes, Kaylee? I'm trying to close out the show.
It's been a lot of hours.
Kaylee's like, it's been a lot of hours.
You started this at 5.
I did not start at 5. I started at 6:30.
Same thing.
I started at 6:30.
And I came late to the party.
Same
Yeah.
Kaylee's like, it's been late. How do you think Jenny feels? It's 2 hours even longer for her.
It's midnight here.
And it's 10 o'clock for you too, Michelle?
Oh, it's 23:05.
Oh, so you're an hour ahead. Okay.
I'm only an hour
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, she's Mountain Time. You're Mountain Time, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. All right,
Yes,
guys.
the Bozeman is based in Bozeman, which is Mountain Time.
Nice. So I think we are going to end it off here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching us tonight. I'll just say live long and prosper. All right.